Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets live morning show. Haven't done a little morning show in a while, because I'm usually going to bed at this time, but somehow I've worked it out. Somehow I found my way back onto a semi-normal sleeping schedule, which means I can do shows in the morning. I can do shows at night. Ordinarily, my waking hours are at like 2 to 6 a.m. Those are not good times to do live streams, I've found. Not at all. How are you today? How is everybody? Let's see. Emperor Billy Ritchie says, "Oh God, Ethan, what are they doing now?" It's craziness. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what they're doing. It's everybody. Everybody. This is the way the internet works. I was talking to Zach this morning, and Zach is just like, I really feel like things are getting worse and worse. He said, I feel like people are melting down. Twitter melts people's brains. Like, I'm actually afraid of Twitter. And I said, it's funny that you say that. Like, I'm really sensing it too. And I had a dream last night. I had a nightmare that I went to the doctor, and the doctor diagnosed me with cancer. And it was from Twitter. Twitter is literally cancer. And I woke up with just an awful feeling about it. Like, this is how things are. These people are absolutely unhinged. It has a lot to do with COVID. I think it has a lot to do with just people being bored and unhappy and unsettled right now. But we'll talk about all this. Love and Rumba says, "Morning, Uncle Ethan. The Vespis are real. They're the murder hornets." Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing how I predicted that with Cyberfrog? I said they were coming at a weak point in the human in the human race's condition, I guess, and the human race at a weak moment for the human race. God, Ethan, where is your eloquence? Let me start off by saying what I'm supposed to say. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, 27-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media. Okay, so yes, at a weak moment in the timeline of the human race, the Vespis come from outer space. They come from another world to descend upon us, feast upon us, sting the living hell out of us. Everyone is sending me articles about the murder hornets. Everyone is really concerned about murder hornets. Now, other people have. Now, by the way, I've not even really delved into murder hornets. I'm not sure that I will. I'm not actually sure that I'm going to do a lot of looking into murder hornets. It just sounds like the same old, same old. It sounds like the whole killer bees thing. But people are still concerned about it. And somebody sent me, a video of a praying mantis eating a murder hornet. And I'm no longer afraid. In fact, I welcome praying mantises. I used to be kind of nervous at praying mantises. Now I feel like praying mantises are our friends more than ever. Praying mantises more than ever are our friends. Let me see if I can find this video. It's really cool. Somebody said this is going to be perfect. This will be perfect reference for you, Ethan. Perfect reference for you to use when you're working on Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet. And everybody's saying, should there be a praying mantis character? Why wouldn't there be a praying mantis character? Let me see here. Oh, yeah. No. That's just a picture. That's not the video. I mean, these praying mantises, they dig right into the heads of murder hornets. They eat their brains out of their heads. I didn't know that's what they did. I had no idea. But that is indeed what goes on. Holy cow, I'm looking at my Facebook. It's crazy. What is this? Holy cow. I'm so glad I looked. I didn't notice this. I didn't notice this from before. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can I'll open this up in a new window. People are sending me stuff. All right, let me see. Open image in a new tab. Why is that difficult? Why is that something that we couldn't do before? Okay, there we go. Let me take this and we put it here. I'm telling you, I'm amazing. I'm amazing at the internet. Okay, check this out, by the way, before we get back to the murder hornets. Somebody made another Cyberfrog sculpture. It's Cyberfrog, and he's eating what appears to be a fried chicken leg. Well, that's wonderful. That's terrific. I don't know what you do with this. You put this on your wall, I guess. Is this paper mache? Great work. Terrific work from whoever made this. People are very creative. People are working really hard to to make Cyberfrog more three-dimensional. What do you guys think of that? I mean, that's pretty great, right? Adrian Stone's impressed. Tweeted Trash points out that I'm changing the world. Yes, indeed. Okay, so anyway, I can't find it, but there's a video, and I'm sure you guys can find it, of a murder hornet's head being eaten, being hollowed out by a praying mantis, and it'll make you feel better. If you're worried about murder hornets, don't be worried. It's going to be okay. All right, so woke up this morning, rolled out of bed, and saw Edwin Boyette. No, not in my bed. He posted this on Twitter. He could have, if he was in my bed, that'd be weird. Let's see. Edwin Boyette, otherwise known as Methwin Soyette, posted this: the top 20 books on Indiegogo year to date. Richard Meyer owns 4 of the top 20 with Expendables, Iron Sights 2, Jawbreakers, and Pandemic. Go Zach. It looks like I own 4 too. Various Cyberfrog series. Thank you for the specificity there, Methwin. Appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see. I got Cyberfrog Wreck Planet, which at the time that he posted this, 713,000. He points out here this is highlighted for some reason. I'm not sure why this one is highlighted. None of the other ones are highlighted except for these ones down here. Oh, these are. Oh, you know what this is? These are Anti-ComicsGaters, I think. I think these are Anti-ComicsGaters. I could be wrong. No, Dragon Guard, Titan, they're not Anti-ComicsGaters. They're just friends of Edwin's and Mike's. Okay, Bigfoot Bill 2 Finger Poseidon comes in second place. Edwin is quick to point out. 2,611 backers, $238,575. A fine showing for Bigfoot Bill 2. And then comes Expendables, Blade Devil, Unforgettable Tales is at number 6. Who would have known? Unforgettable Tales. I did this campaign for Unforgettable Tales, and I was just thinking, well, I said, babe, if we're lucky, we might make $100,000 on, remaking the Cyberfrog books from the 90s. And she's like, oh, we should do it then. Yeah, we did. And 171,000. Thank you guys. Cash Grab by Cecil, Fragaboom's Black Flag, Pineapple Perception, getting really close to 100,000. Jawbreaker's Grand Bazaar, 66,000. It's a fairly new campaign that's out there. And then I guess Second Chance Cyberfrog Chromium Cyberfrog. Says that's 4 Cyberfrog books. Methwin was right. So I was kind of happy to see that. I like that Methwin is continuing to put. Let's see, the 19 comic book and graphic novel projects have 500 or more backers on Indiegogo. Just 19, I guess. And this is the 19 that have 500 or more. Starting with Star Wars Girl, she's got 503. And we can up those numbers, guys. Get out there and promote your comics. All right, so here's what I wanted to say. Here's I guess the subject matter. Now that we've got about 500 people in here. There's a movie and a book called 11/22/63. It's by Stephen King, and it's about. By the way, this is my favorite subject matter. I love this book. This is my number one fantasy. If you said what would you like to do if you could go back in time, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? I guess this would be it. I would want to time travel. I'd want to time travel. In the book, there's a guy who owns a diner. And there's the closet to the diner is a time portal that always spits you out in 1959. One specific day, one specific location in 1959. You can go there and you can do whatever you want. If you can change the past. You can make changes in the past. You can go back in time and you can change things. But if you and by the way, to prove this, like at one point, this guy goes outside. He writes his name in a tree. And then he comes back through the closet into the diner, goes outside of the diner, and the tree is there, but it's like 50 years older, and his name is still carved in the tree. So, that's, you can change time. But if you go back through the door again, it undoes what you did before. So that, the name would be gone off the tree. So this guy goes back in time, and the whole thing is he's going to change the lives of some of his friends, of some of the horrible things that have happened to people that he knew in the past, including one little boy who's, he was a little boy in the 50s whose father killed his family right in front of him. So he's going to go back in time. He's going to fix that. And then he's going to live in that time period and then try to undo the Kennedy assassination. And I love this book. I absolutely love this book. And the one thing that that really strikes me about it, and it's presented very visually and with a lot of impact, in the TV series that was, I think it's on Hulu. The one thing that really strikes you is that as you try to change, as you try to make major changes in the past, the present pushes back on you. It tries to prevent you from making changes in the timeline. So you can do it. But it's like if you want to undo the Kennedy assassination, a helicopter might crash on you or something like that. There's going to be something that's going to try to prevent you from accomplishing this change to the timeline. And it gets worse and worse. Like the closer you get to undoing big events in the timeline, the more the future pushes back on you and causes trouble. I'm reminded of this. I'm reminded of this as Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet begins to break records. Let me get Adam Post in here. Hello, Adam Post.
Hey, good morning. I've never heard of that book before, but Hey, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, I've never heard of that book before, but I actually have heard of the concept, like butterfly effect and things like that. You do something and change the past, but it's at an incredible cost. And it's almost it's not worth it.
Yeah. The butterfly effect is different. The butterfly effect just says that if you change one little thing, the future is going to be drastically changed. This concept is that trying to change the past results in tremendous, like a tidal wave of pressure trying to stop you from changing that event. So, in this, there might be a car accident in front of you that prevents you from getting to Lee Harvey Oswald. There are going to be all kinds of things that are going to stop you from, stopping that event from happening, which I think is pretty neat. And it's it reminds me of this, Adam. Things were quiet when I launched Cyberfrog 2. Things seemed quiet to me. People were quiet.
Things were peaceful. I think maybe you shut some people up with Unforgettable Tales. But there wasn't a lot of hysteria.
There wasn't hysteria. And then what happened was, and I noticed it for a while. I was talking to Andrew and I was like, well, things are really peaceful and good. I feel like things are calming down. There's less lunacy. More people seem to be busy doing their own things. Nobody is talking negatively about ComicsGate anymore. I feel like ComicsGate's winning, and very happy to say that. Very happy that there's less obnoxious, horrible people trying to stop us from doing what we do. But then COVID happened, which shut down the mainstream comic book industry. And we recognized it right away. We at ComicsGate, we kind of were talking about this and said, look, this is disastrous for the mainstream. They're not going to get up from this. And they were saying, what are you talking about? This is just, you're not going to this is just for a month. We're going to be, no, you're not going to get up from this. You guys still, and many of them still don't realize that. They still don't understand that this was absolutely catastrophic for the mainstream, and this was the death stroke. In the meantime, while all of this was happening, Cyberfrog 2 launched May 15th, which was the Ides of March. It's easy to remember, the Ides of March. Oh, yes. And then, 3 or 4 days later, everything collapsed. So
weird. The timing was amazing.
It's the only reason I launched it is because of that date.
I was even thinking, Ethan, when you were launching it and it was in the middle of this C-19 stuff, I was thinking of suggesting to you, hey, are you sure you? And I'm like, he's sure. He knows. He's aware. He's aware. And he's going to show people that, you know what? Yeah, there are people that still love comics no matter what's going on outside their door.
My feeling was that, I had second thoughts, but it's not like I'm prescient, but my feeling was that it was actually an ideal time to launch a crowdfunder. The Ides of March was a fun gimmick. And then from there, once COVID happened, I was like, oh, no, I think this is a good thing. I think this is actually going to be good for crowdfunders because everything else is closed down. People still have money and nowhere to spend it. They can't spend it at comic book stores. Why wouldn't they just have fun and support some crowdfunded comics?
Especially people have been asking you deliver. It's such a common thing. It's why I really love that you did the sequel. And that's why I did the sequel for College of the Dead too, is we did all this work to promote the idea, create the interest, put the book out, deliver it. People like it. They're showing pictures of it. The first question is always going to be, when's the next one coming out? As long as they like it.
Mm-hmm.
So you had all these people who wanted it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, people were anticipating the book no matter when I launched it. But yeah, a lot of people said to me, look, this is maybe, are you sure that you want to stop it? You want to cancel it? No, just keep it going. And it turns out I was right. Now, while SJWs were telling each other, do not launch crowdfunded comics right now because everybody's dying. Like they immediately thought this was the Dust Bowl. Even though the murder hornets are here, even though, things are tight for some people. It isn't the Dust Bowl. It's the United States of America experiencing a pandemic. It's fine. So the SJWs were telling each other to stop doing business entirely. And because of that, because of what they did, fucking everything is going our way, Adam. God damn it. This is what I can't. Let me just take a minute here. Because of what they did, Adam. They imploded Kickstarter. Now, I mean, all of our enemies are drowning, one by one. All of them are drowning, and they're bound at some point to start kicking and screaming and throwing a fit. And that is indeed what they're doing right now. They are throwing a fit. Now, Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet is in its last week, Adam.
I'm excited about that. Really excited about it.
No, I mean, it's not that exciting. It's in its last 7 days, and it's at $713,815. Now it's just about $100,000 away from beating Earthworm Jim's 5-month total of $815,000. Do you understand? We're so close. You know what this is like? Okay, so this is like swimming up Niagara Falls. That's the amount of resistance we're going to get at this point. Before we defeat the ultimate evil. That is what it is. That is the tide.
With a sequel book, bigger every time, a gorgeous collector's box, the executive box.
That's right. The honeycomb box, the executive honeycomb box set, which, by the way, look, we've only got about 700 of them left. About 700. No, 800.
Ethan, we're all kind of scrambling in the background. We're like, oh, make an executive box like this. This is fantastic. We love it.
Well, it's easy to do. I mean, I'll tell you where to get them. I like the idea that comic skaters maybe all do these, and you can stack them up on your shelves if you want. They're expensive. They're expensive to make. Yeah,
they're very expensive. And as soon as you mentioned the company, that's me. I went and I spoke to the company like the following day. And the minimum runs at least 1,000, and it can be a little pricey. But you know what I was also thinking, Ethan, if you thought this is a good idea, maybe we have a couple of books that share the same artwork, and then it's like a ComicsGate, like maybe College of the Dead brand, a couple of other, maybe 2 or 3 titles could share a box. Be like, listen, this is one of the ComicsGate boxes. It's executive ComicsGate box. It's only for these 3 titles, and it includes these books, or something like that. That maybe it's a shared artwork kind of thing. I haven't really talked to the guys about it, but only because we may not be able to sell as many as you can sell each time. But a Frag a Boom and things like that there's definitely the 6-figure guys the packaging is important. It's part of the presentation. And then you've got the chicken box as well, which is cool.
Yeah, people like this stuff. People like the packaging. So that's kind of cool. We'll do more stuff like this. So we're in the last 7 days. We're about $100,000 away from defeating the ultimate evil in 2 months, doing in 2 months what it took them 5 months to do. And I will tell you, they are going berserk. They're absolutely going berserk right now. Now, on the one hand, the mainstream comic book industry, I have been kicking it while it's down. Andrea says to me, "Why are you kicking them while they're down?" And I'm like, "Well, that's when they're ankle height. That's when you kick them, right?
Yeah.
When
right
else
level.
would you kick someone? You don't kick people when they're up. You punch them.
Well,
When they're down, you kick them."
Yeah, you've been shining a light onto like, look, and Zach says the same thing. I think he says it really well, which is like, look, if the industry was strong, this is the 1980s. This is the early 1990s where they're selling 1 million copies of Youngblood and 1 million copies of Spawn and 1 million copies of Dan Frega's Bloodstrike. No one would even think for a second that the industry would have a problem, that in a few weeks or another month they'd have a problem. It's so tenuous. They've made it so sick and so weak that a lot of comic book stores are going to go out of business. Steve Jeppe is such a positive guy. I was surprised to watch Steve Jeppe on that live stream 2 weeks ago. So high energy, and really inspiring about comic books. But it was, I don't know if you'd seen a follow-up stream. They did a follow-up stream with Gary Groth was on it from Fantagraphics.
Yeah.
Old school publisher.
I didn't watch it, but I heard, yeah.
Well, long and the short was just like, Steve was trying to be really positive, and he was. It's just like a little less positive. And Gary Groth was kind of like, yeah, but I'm worried about, like, Steve, you're really positive, but like, I'm worried about next month. I'm worried about the month after. And he was like, he's seen a lot because he's been around since the 80s. And they do a lot of indie comics and create their own stuff. And famous indie publisher, Fantagraphics. But man, it's, I don't know. I look at it and I say, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff in comics as well. They're not doing what we're doing. That's for sure. They're not.
No, they're not. I got a lot to talk about today, Adam. Settle in. You and I are gonna have a conversation. You and me.
All right.
By the way, College of the Dead. College of the Dead.
Oh my God. Thank you, ComicsGate, with College of the Dead graduation day. You guys have been so amazing, so supportive. Worth every ounce of love and energy to make the book and to be there for it. It's my zombie apocalypse series. It just closed at $25,000, which is, it's 5 times what I did the first time out. 5 times is an incredible number. I could not have asked. I mean, if I did as much or even twice, that would have been amazing. But 5 times was just a blessing. So,
well, it's still open. I mean, if you like zombie stuff, and by the way, the sensation of zombieism, that whole phenomenon, that's popular when things are the way they are right now. Read a zombie story. This is the right time to read one. Pick up College of the Dead graduation day. Adam Post, of course. By the way, Adam Post has fulfilled a campaign in the past.
Oh, let me run. I forgot. I even have the prototypes. So do your thing.
So this is graduation day, College of the Dead. This is the sequel to his first book, College of the Dead. And I have it. It's great. College of the Dead was great. So this book is going to be even better. Consider backing this.
Yeah, this one's color. This one we went full color because all the other guys had color comics. This is the actual book for College of the Dead. This is a printed prototype. I pre-printed these in advance just to make sure everything would look cool. And these are the sample digital copies. The regular run will be offset run, but still great looking book. Oh, Narwhal did this version. I don't know if you ever saw this, Ethan. Narwhal did this version of Earthbound, and he zombified it, and we call it College Bound. Kind of wild. Kind of wild. Like, so perfect. Like, God wanted that to happen. Yeah, he liked the idea of like the ComicsGate concept crossover. It was like, all right, that's pretty cool. And then the torch cover. So this is at college. Anyone can go to collegeofthedead.com. It'll direct you right to the campaign. I'm big on that. Like, come up with a simple way to just get right to the campaign.
Yeah. So, back College of the Dead, obviously it's coming out. Adam, I've had to make a couple of changes in philosophy when it comes to supporting ComicsGate campaigns. My new thing is going, and this has caused a lot of controversy. People are talking about this a little bit, and some people like it. Other people are, I don't know. Let me read this to you, and you tell me what you think about this, because I think it makes sense, and it's just, it's the way it has to be now, I think, and it's a shame.
I know of what you speak, but let me hear what you let me hear about it.
Okay, so I just found it on Twitter. I'll just read it. Dun, 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 dun. Boom. Moving forward, receiving promotion on my show will require having fulfilled at least one campaign to backers successfully. I can't ever ask my audience to invest their hard-earned money in a comic by someone without a proven track record of keeping promises. Hashtag Black Dragon. Hashtag hail.
Hail, hail. Hail ComicsGate.
Hail ComicsGate. So the reasons for this, we had a couple of bad situations this year. One of them was Critias, infamously Critias.
Well, I want to interrupt you for 1 second.
Yeah.
And this is the only reason why. First of all, I did see this, have a lot of respect for it, and I know Sweetcast does as well. And when you say this, and you made it very clear that what this means is just new people coming on ComicsGate, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. This has nothing to do with gatekeeping, really almost nothing to do with getting into ComicsGate. Anybody can hashtag ComicsGate.
Yeah, of course.
This is getting promotion, like you said, Critias, or like, even a name creator that joins ComicsGate. You're not going to be in a position where you're going to actively promote it as a regular thing on the show until you've got a creator who's already shown that they can ship. That doesn't mean that people can't super chat. I super chat sometimes. It always works well for me. Thank you for your generosity with that. You're always respectful of the super chatters. It doesn't mean people can't do open mic. You're just saying, right? It just means
what you're doing now. In other words, look, when I started ComicsGate Live, the whole thing was to just bring on, we were allowed to have up to 10 people, at one time on Google Hangouts. And I'd have 10 creators all in there. And we'd go through, we'd promote all of their campaigns, all of them. And that was the thing. I mean, it was we'd stay up all night, we'd goof on each other, we'd have a good time. And then I'd promote all these campaigns. Now, by being on my show and then being a regular who gets their book promoted, I mean, these guys would make tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes six figures on a campaign. And that it reflects on me. I'm actually asking people, I'm saying, look, you should back this book because you should trust this person. It looks good. If it looks good to you, it's coming with my personal
endorsement, brother. It's an endorsement. When I asked to be on your show, and when you allow me on your show, as you did this morning, and thank you again for that, it's an endorsement by just having me sit next to you, my couch to your chair. It is an endorsement. You endorsed College of the Dead book 1, and you took a chance on me, and I appreciate that. And I did ship it, and it was on time. And then I was able to come back and do number 2. But at the same time, yes, when someone appears on your channel or my channel, or War Campaign's channel, anybody's channel, it's an endorsement from those people, and there's no way to separate it. And right. I always look at it as this is Ethan Van Sciver's fancy restaurant. People are coming here because they love Ethan, they love the entertainment, they love Cyberfrog, they love your history. If they buy Cyberfrog, they're your customer. All of these people on your channels are your private personal customers. This is what you built your life to create. Because you came into ComicsGate with like 30,000 subs or something. It's not like you just fell off a truck. So that's your place. If you invite me in to offer a rose or offer like a dessert in your restaurant to your customer, I appreciate the opportunity to do that. And you are implying to your customer, hey, this guy Adam isn't going to sell you, a poisonous hors d'oeuvre, or never give you the hors d'oeuvre, or give you a bad experience. And of course, it's going to reflect on you and your customers if your customer gets bad service, whether it's from you or it's from anyone else that you've endorsed along to sell these hors d'oeuvres. That's how I've always seen it.
Well, look, I have people in the chat who are, look, they're donating $25 or more to campaigns that some of them are not fulfilling. And therefore, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop doing that because I feel like it's, ComicsGate is customers first. My ComicsGate philosophy, and most people's, is ComicsGate respects customers in content, word, and deed. Customers, that's you guys. When you're shelling out money for comics that do not show up, then I think we are not respecting customers. I mean, to put it mildly, we're not respecting customers. When money is mismanaged and books do not ship, books that came with my endorsement, we are not respecting customers. When promises that are implicit, in fact, actually spelled out in Indiegogo to backers, that they will be the first ones to receive their perks before Walmart gets them at $5 to just your average Joe. We are not respecting customers. These are important principles, important touchstones, things that we have to remember. And I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't want to feel like I'm responsible for that. I'm embarrassed about things like that. That's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing that you have 2 years to produce a book to send to the people who invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in you, and there is no reason for it. If you had done one panel every 5 days, the book would be finished at this point. And I'm a slowpoke. I sympathize. And not only that, I'm a slowpoke who understands the pressure of being ComicsGate. And still, I banged out Cyberfrog Blood Honey. I'm going to do
more than banged out.
So, this is the thing. I don't understand it. I find it to be disrespectful. And I respect my customers. Mine. These people here are my customers. They're not
100%
ComicsGate. These are people who come to my show. And when I tell them, look, this book looks cool, maybe you should think about backing it, and they do, they're doing it with some kind of implied endorsement on my part. So I'm embarrassed about that. I'm ashamed of that. That behavior is going to stop. In order to get my endorsement, you're going to have to be good, as usual. Your book's going to have to be good and stand above others. And B, you're going to have shown and demonstrated that you know how to finish, fulfill, and ship a project. If you haven't done that before, I can't stand behind you and tell all of these people in my audience to support and back your books. That's just the way it is. And that goes for everybody. I don't care if you're my friend at this point. I don't care if we have a long-running relationship. We're pals. I can't do it. Again, customers come before everybody. Customers come before everyone. I can't have some kind of weird relationship with my pals in which I endorse them and my customers get screwed over. That's just not the way it goes. At the end of the day, this platform is for Cyberfrog. It is for Cyberfrog. I will always meet every single one of my promises to my customers who back Cyberfrog. Always. If you're on my show, you will have to prove, indeed, that you're going to do the same thing. That needs to be demonstrated. That there needs to be a track record of this. So I love everyone. I mean, this isn't me saying, look, these people are no longer going to be allowed on my show. It isn't saying don't super chat and your own promotions. You can super chat promos. You can come on my show if you want to. When I do an open mic, you can promote your own book. But the days of kind of just steadily getting promotion from me when you haven't fulfilled has to stop. Get your first book finished. Get your first book shipped to people. Prove that you can do it. Go through the fire, and then we'll play ball. And so that means today I want to proudly ask you to support Vestige #1, the graphic novel by Gat Hanzo and Donald DeLay. I've gotten this book shipped to me 3 times now because I backed it 3 times. And I've gotten, every time I open the mailbox, Vestige is in there. These guys are on the ball. The book looks great. It reads great. It has my cover on it. It comes with a fold-out poster of my cover. And these guys definitely deserve your support. I also want to promote Jawbreakers, Grand Bazaar graphic novel by your boy Zach, who has fulfilled 9 campaigns at this point. He's in the middle of fulfilling Iron Sights 2 right now. This guy has a track record. Obviously, we love Zach. He's a ComicsGate philosopher. He has a track record of kicking ass with fulfillment. And he just opened up Jawbreakers 3, the 3rd book with a fantastic cover by Kyle Ritter. This is a guy who you can trust, and you know the quality of the product. This guy cares about customers, so make sure that you do. Oh, and by the way, go buy one of these face masks. I think I'm going to do that. I haven't backed yet.
Yeah, that was really interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, the quality what Zach's putting out is amazing. How he's turned into a hell of a publisher in terms of lining people up and producing beautiful content and having interesting projects. Unbelievable packager and producer and writer of books. So it's very impressive to see.
I agree. And of course, Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, guys. Let's get this one. Moving. Wow, holy cow! We've got a bunch of backers there. Let's get this one moving. We've got 7 days left to a night. We've already beaten the worm. We've already beaten the worm's 2-month total, but let's annihilate the 5-month total too. 7 days to do that. We've still got lots of honeycomb boxes left here. About 700 of them left. Am I doing that right? 800 left. 17. Yeah. Is that right, Adam?
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, come on. Math is not. Just change it by a factor of 10, and we're good to go.
Okay. About 800.
Throw an extra zero on there. We got like 8,000. No, we got like 8 left. But anyway, you're going to want one of these collector's boxes. I mean, look, not everybody has the money. If you don't have the money, you get a lower tier, but it's really cool. And this is starting off a new thing in ComicsGate, where people are looking at like, all right, I have a couple different variants or whatever it is I've got that I can put this in a box. And how do I get this to a price point and make the numbers work? It ain't easy, but I'm really impressed with the marketing of this, that to hit that feature tier and just to see the support of this campaign, especially after launching Unforgettable Tales. Because that sucked up some frog cash. It had to have sucked up some frog cash.
I think I can do. Here's the thing. Here's what I believe about crowdfunders. Because I also did 4 tips for crowdfunders to kind of. Yeah,
I'm going to do a video on that. I love when you put that stuff out, and I want to capture it so we have it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like at the beginning of the year, I told people what was coming out this year. I said, look, we're going to do Unforgettable Tales. We're going to have a couple of Vampirella books. We're going to do Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. We're going to do Warts and All. And at the end of the year, we're going to do Rainbow Brute. So just, prepare yourself. In order to get one of everything, one of the main books, it's going to cost you $150 this year to support All Caps Comics. And just put it that way. Just put it that way to people so that they can expect that. They understand what we're doing. Nothing is a surprise. So Unforgettable Tales didn't catch anyone by surprise and did really, really well. 171,000, still up, still in demand, still making a lot of money. So we're just gonna leave it there. This is like evergreen. Dan Fraga told me, he's just like, look, this is the kind of book that you don't need to take down because it's it's evergreen. People are always going to want copies of Unforgettable Tales 1 and 2. Wreck Planet is a little bit different because when it starts shipping, we're going to have to, take down the campaign.
Sure.
So, that's the thing. But this one will stay up for a little while. Back this. All right. So this is what I was saying.
And those are foil and bought. You put so much into the books, but doesn't always get reminded and mentioned is those Unforgettable Tales. That's your first 2 Cyberfrog comics, colored by Kyle, but full color. I'm really psyched to see the foil embossed covers or the embossed.
I am too, man. I cannot wait.
You always make stuff that you're going to love opening the box. That's very cool.
Yeah. All right. So this is what I said about crowdfunders. And I mean this for everyone. I think that, there are people who are so accustomed to the mainstream. They're so accustomed to it that like they keep kind of going, yes, but why aren't we in stores? Don't we want to be in stores? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? It's like these are things that kind of want to bend you back to what's familiar, but what isn't working anymore. And so I said my instincts about successful crowdfunding go against everything we're used to from the mainstream. But a lot of comic skaters seem to kind of aspire to bend back towards that model. Number 1, direct to consumer. Okay, this means no comic book stores, and actually there should be an addendum to this. No digital either. Direct to consumer, the most control, which means that you are personally shipping the comics to your customers. There's no in between man to get in between you and them. That's control. That's something that you want to have for the best possible customer service. And then the other half of that is the most profit. Distribution means you're going to sell more books, but you're going to only receive about 40% of your cover price. They're going to keep the rest.
If you're selling to a comic book distributor who sells to a store, you only get 40% of like that $5 retail or something. You only get $2 a unit. You have to pay printing, art, shipping, everything. So you lose a lot.
You're better off, I mean, this is the thing. When you hear people on the internet, when you hear SJWs on Twitter cackling that we're not selling as many copies as, whatever, mid-tier Marvel comic is. The thing is, like, they're selling their books for, $6 or $7 cover price, and they are making more. They're putting more books out into the market. But they're only receiving 40% of that cover price in profits after paying everybody. It really amounts to nothing. I mean, we're selling fewer books for with more content for more money and keeping all of it.
But Ethan, and there's another aspect too people don't understand is if you're a publisher, even if you're an independent publisher, you're on good terms with Diamond Comic distributors. If you come up with a good idea like the executive box, they're not even necessarily going to let you offer that. Forgetting about even splitting the money. They could say, well, you got to give us 60% of that $200 retail, which makes it not viable to even produce anymore. But even if you were doing that, I want to produce variants. I made 5 covers of College of the Dead, shipping in June. By me personally, I am personally boxing and shipping those. But they don't even allow you to offer whatever you want. If you're Marvel and DC, yes, you can offer whatever you want. But if your company name doesn't start with an M or an N with a DC, like they don't just let you list like, well, I want to do an original art tier. I want to do a sketch cover edition. They're like, no. And you have to basically beg them to offer different variants and versions. And they have their own reasons because, yes, they're a middleman. They have costs. They start looking at those costs. They do decide this. Is your product or this variant good for the market? They also don't allow you to do, quote, offered against. So I am shipping more College of the Dead book 1 as an add-on to my book 2 graduation day than I sold the first time around. So I've picked up new people. That's not even allowed. It's not even understood that we would be allowed to do that when we're selling to a distributor. There's a place for it, I think, somewhere. But yes, you don't have control of the price. They don't have to even agree to the price you want to set. They don't agree to the price, the terms, the format, the delivery. They want to see things absolute. You're talking about having someone with a track record coming on your channel. Diamond wants to see comics complete, like art and editorial finished in many cases for independent publishers, which also protects market. You're not even talking about that. There are restrictions and paperwork that people would be surprised. I'm not saying don't ever sell there, but I am saying like, hey, what we have is amazing. We have to appreciate it and look at the quality it's producing for first-time projects, passion projects. People were spending 10 years trying to get their book done. I started on College of the Dead 10 years ago. The first one's out. The second one's out. We started on the third now. I wasn't starting on a third College of the Dead when I got before ComicsGate. I was frustrated that I wasn't able to get it out and communicate with people about it. So sorry to go off on that tangent, but it's worse than even that people understand. More difficult than people understand.
Right. And digital, people are talking about digital. Well, yeah, there's more profit in digital because there's no printing, but there's also higher rates of piracy. And frankly, you cannot charge the same amount of money for a digital copy that you could for a paper copy. I don't think digital is the way to go for ComicsGate. I recommend against it. This is all counterintuitive. Understand that when I say infrequency, people go, what? What do you mean infrequency? It's not that I doubt that you can do 12 books per year. Of course you can. A lot of people can do 12 books per year, or at least more than we're doing. But it'll result in overexposure and boredom. Doing fewer longer books, 1 or 2 per year, will create anticipation and enthusiasm. It's the J.K. Rowling model. Serialized novels do this, and we should too. The other benefit of this, the other benefit of only doing 1 or 2 issues per year, is that it always allows people to catch up. It always allows new readers to catch up. Now, if they're sitting there walking into a comic store and going, I think I want to start reading this Batman book, but there are 100 little mini Cat Spanker pamphlets, and I don't, it's not like they number the trade paperbacks. I don't really know how to get into the story. If you are doing a few books the way Harry Potter did, now I want to follow the Harry Potter story. We'll go read the first Harry Potter book, then get the second one, then get the third, settle in and relax with them, think about them in between the duration in between releases. It's the best way. I really believe it's the best way to crowdfund comics. You don't need to do a lot of books. If you're doing 12 books per year with crowdfunders, you're going to wear out your audience.
It's totally true. And it's a proven model. And people will talk about Brian Pulido this or Brian Pulido that. It's the same thing he's doing. It's like every 6 months, there's a new 48-page graphic novel. And Brian Pulido, when he had Chaos Comics in the 90s, would do 8 or 10 comics a month. He's not doing that now. He has the money. He has the success. He knows how to make comics. He knew how to make comics 20 years ago. But he's not doing it because it doesn't work. You need to create some kind of a sequels are great, but you have to create a cycle like College of the Dead. Every 6 months, I'm putting out a new College of the Dead. It'll be done in advance before we offer it.
Hail Adam Post.
Hail Narwhal.
Hey, Ethan, congrats. Last time I talked to you, you were at 500K. Now you're at over 700K. It's amazing to watch. I love it. And thanks for having me on. Good morning, you two.
We've been apart too long, Narwhal. That's what that says to me. I'm glad to have you on the show. Thanks.
I felt it too, yeah, and I'm glad to be back. To add just a little bit to what you guys are saying, I met a millionaire at a bar once, and he bought me a bunch of drinks because he thought I was an interesting person or something. And I was like, I guess I'll be your experiment. You can buy me some drinks. But he's like, I told him a little bit about my comic stuff, and he's like, if you spend all this time on one book, why would you move on to make another book? Just sell the one book a whole bunch. And that's a little bit like,
that's what I'm saying here. That is correct. I mean, look, here's the thing, like Cyberfrog 2, starting Cyberfrog 2 has opened up a whole new demand for Cyberfrog 1, which is the other thing. The thing that Infrequency allows you to do is to create anticipation for the next one, but also create new demand for people who are not overwhelmed by the amount of books that they need to read to get caught up with the story. We've sold 500 copies of Cyberfrog Blood Honey since we opened our eBay store. I mean, that's phenomenal. And by the way, we sold them for $5 more than we did when we were initially crowdfunding them. So they're making more money. They're worth more on the secondary market. And by the way, somebody else bought 100 copies of Cyberfrog Blood Honey for $25. Wow. Sold out of them for $45 each. This guy almost doubled his money by investing in Cyberfrog, which is pretty cool. All right, so number 3 is marketing. That you're going to hear a lot of people talk about. Hey, I'm opening up a new company. I'm starting a new company here. I'm starting a fulfillment company. This is what you're missing. Marketing. That's the key component missing from the indie comic scene. Anyone can draw a comic book. Anyone can draw a ton of comic books. Anyone can get published, and anyone can fulfill. But getting the word out and creating a buzz is vital. Vital. That's what it is. How do you keep this product on people's minds all the time? What do you do to keep people thinking about, your book? What do you do to keep people whistling a merry tune about your comic? These are all things, that little earworms that you got to come up with, and persistence in marketing your comic. Keeping yourself out there and on everyone's mind should be the purpose of your social media. How do you do that? Your platform, your YouTube platform and Twitter can't just be nonstop ads for your product. You must create entertainment to draw viewership. And I see a lot of comic skaters that do nothing but just do a stream where they're promoting a comic book, and it isn't interesting. People either fall asleep, they call them snore streams, or they tune out eventually. But people do not. The shill streams are dull. They don't sell comics. 95% of your channel should be fun and informative, with about 5% ads for your comic. So after we talk about all this, then we go over here and we say, hey, everyone, back vestige number 1. Back vestige number 1. Support this great comic book. Gat Hanzo is shipping these out right now, and everyone's getting them. Donald DeLay's art is fantastic, isn't it, Narwhal?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love his work.
Did you get a copy of this yet?
Mine hasn't come yet, but it will.
Yeah, I've gotten 3 different packages full of Vestiges.
I got to notice mine's coming. I'm psyched to see it. I've seen Ted Zagaro did a beautiful video. I don't know if you got to see it, but it's beautiful promo video just showing how the product looks like when it's printed in the spot UV. It's gorgeous. It really came out gorgeous.
Sure did. Over here, of course, is my book, Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet. As we push towards the last 7 days, wow, we just hit 715, 6,062 backers. 7 more days of Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, everyone. And these boxes, oh, wow, we're selling a ton of these. These boxes are selling out. We'll sell 4 more, and we're at 1,700 out of 2,500 claimed. I had a feeling these would sell out, and I think they might.
They have to. They're
Definitely.
going.
There's 1 week left, so it'll be like that last few days especially.
Norwell, don't you think that like when Ethan gets down to the last 100, people are gonna go berserk and be like, "All right, I can't screw around. I gotta buy this thing now."
The thing is, I'm thinking about buying it. I wonder if I could write it off on my taxes. Is that?
Yeah,
yeah, of course you can. It's research.
Yeah. We get tax advice constantly. Oh, and of course, the College of the Dead Narwhal college bound cover.
Oh yeah, nice. That's awesome. Look at it in print. That's cool.
Yeah. Copies coming to you, of course. This is just the prototype. So we're going to do the run soon, and I'll be shipping these on time in June. Good rhyming all the time.
Sweet.
Yeah, I was really incredibly psyched. Norwell, again, now I can thank you publicly. Like, thank you so much for lending the image and working on the zombified version of that. That was a really, really fun, creative process. And so many people reach out, and they're just like, that Narwhal guy, he's amazing. The more stuff you do, the more exciting it is for ComicsGate. And are you still offering Foreign Agent?
Yeah, that's available. It's about to cross 34K, over 600 backers right now. And that one, like Earthbound, I think I'm, the copies will be to me within a couple months. I'll be fulfilling this early this summer, I think. And there'll be like a surge after I fulfill. And I overbuy. I always overbuy by a bunch. So I've sold 600 copies so far. I ordered 2,000. So
Keaton Smith, by the way, Keaton Smith is having trouble with our eBay. Oh, for fuck.
He says just picked up Reservoir Frog 1 and Ashcan CRV Creed.
Okay, I'm back.
Very cool.
Keaton Smith, yeah, by the way, is having trouble with our eBay store. He ordered a package and it's held up somewhere in the United States, and it's driving Andrea crazy. She's like, I gotta get that guy his books. Sorry, Keaton. Mail is weird right now. But I'm glad you got Reservoir Frog and Cyberfrog versus Creed. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Now here's the subject. Here's what I'm talking about today. Threats, lunacy, and mental illness. Anti-ComicsGate comes unglued. Now, first of all, the mainstream has decided to launch and mount an assault on ComicsGate. That's one thing, but it's not that big a deal. It's teasing. I think they're upset because I made fun of Donnie Cates again 2 nights ago. I did a whole stream revealing that Donnie Cates was
He got in trouble.
Donnie Cates had a formal sit down where he was threatened with disciplinary action if he ever appeared on my show again. And I thought I'd spanked him pretty well, but Marvel wants to spank him too. So that's me revealing that. And by the way, that came to me through a few different sources. Donnie apparently gets drunk and talks shit and lets that stuff out. So it got back to my ears, and I rejoiced. I laughed so hard. Did a whole stream about it. Now this pissed off the mainstream. Pissed off the mainstream. And now the Brian Michael Bendis contingent of the mainstream is coming after me big time. And it's let me see here. Let me see if I can find this. And this is just shameful. Why would they say this to me? Absolutely terrible. Hold on a second. I'm a human sunbeam. All right. So and this isn't
you're leveling up a bit. If it's Brian Michael Bendis, maybe you'll get Jim Lee eventually to talk some shit.
I just gave Jim Lee $4,500. He better not say shit. He won't say a damn thing to me. I just want your atrocitus drawing.
Nice.
No, here's what it is right here. This is Tommy Lee Edwards. Tommy Lee Edwards is a Batman artist, and he's hangs out with look, that whole crew that draw with dry paint brushes, and look, these guys are not my type of artist. But he says, finally got some real toilet paper. Now I can stop using all those old Ethan Van Sciver comics. So here's his toilet paper that he got. Now here's the thing. I don't like Tommy's artwork either, not at all. But I can afford toiletries.
You're wise enough to actually purchase it when it's available. I mean, I've heard you speak of it from time to time, the Costco trips and all.
Adding someone like that in a tweet is a form of simping, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I wouldn't have even known about this, but he added me and he blocked me. So, like, he wanted me to know this, that he, wipes himself with copies of X-Men, I guess, from the, early 2000s.
For sure.
Until he got actual toilet paper here, off-brand toilet paper. And this, I mean, first of all, the whole idea of wiping yourself with comics that you don't like is so played out. I mean, this is like an old, tired joke. But oh my goodness, the monkeys on the left, 519 likes. As we scroll down here, and some of these are people that are on my side here, letting them know. But I mean, it's like, Alex Maleev, you kept them, you kept his comics. All these guys celebrating. Renfamous is excited. These artists, yes, go get Ethan. Go get Ethan. Go get Ethan. I don't know what this is. Diaper gang.
They are obsessed with buttholes. It's Robbie Rectum exposing buttholes or toilet paper.
Fucking Joe Glass, homosexual comic book artist and creator of something called, what is his book called? The Pride.
Yeah.
He goes, and he's got me blocked, so somebody had to show me this. He goes, it's not even good enough for my butthole or something like that. And I was like, stop it. So these guys, this is shots fired. Oh my goodness. Underrated tweet. Guys, come on. You got to do better than this. You've got to do better than this. But this is the mainstream. That Chromium must have hurt. Yeah. No, it's old stuff, not the new stuff. Don't wipe with Cyberfrog blood, honey, for Christ's sake.
Dangerous.
That is
not. Do you have not for insertion somewhere on there? Because there could be liability. We got to watch out for that.
Joe Glass, please don't shove Cyberfrog up your asshole. I beg of you. I mean, that would be absolutely awful.
It's just a shiny comic book.
So these people are going like, and this is like this right here. I can't even tell you. This is called. There's a line. All right, there is a line of professional courtesy that was breached here. This is stepping the line. When I saw this, I went, "That's not something that we normally do in comics. Like we don't do that." I mean, I'm happy to. I'll oblige. I'll do it too if you want me to. I mean, I kind of brought down the line of professional courtesy when it comes to SJWs and comics, and I'll want to kind of say whatever I want to say about them. But I mean, that's something else, and I will tell you that is organized. That is the beginning of something, and it coincides, this mental illness with these guys and their poo-poo jokes. This is a 50-year-old man talking about wiping himself with comic books on Twitter because he's upset about Trump. And by the way, if you look at his timeline, it's entirely about Trump. It's like Trump, guys. So in any case, sure, if you want to play this game, we can play this game.
You can indulge.
But,
yeah, the Trump stuff's coming back because that's kind of what started it all. Was the Trump stuff, people being insane in 2016, and it was always there, but it was never quite so bad. And now it seems like we're in for a treat with some of these crazy people.
I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like it's a foregone conclusion, this election. And so I'm hoping it's not so bad. But some of them do still have hope. And it is going to be loony. It's going to be loop-de-loo this year. I promise you. But that's just one thing. I mean, that's just, these guys are schoolyard bullies and stuff like that. And frankly, ComicsGate will meet that kind of head on. I mean, that's kind of what we do. But it's gotten more sinister in certain other segments. of Anti-ComicsGate. And by Anti-ComicsGate, I mean OG ComicsGate, which has become Anti-ComicsGate. Now, a year ago, in February 2019, Peter Simeti, a publisher of Alterna Comics, was doing a live stream when armed police officers, a SWAT team, broke into his house with guns drawn. And that's called being swatted. At the time, that very same day, I made a video about it. I'm going to show you that brief video now, so we can relive how I felt about it at that time. Here we go.
I am part of a consumer movement called ComicsGate. As a professional in comic books, I noticed that in the last 6 to 10
Hey,
years,
Adam, could you mute, please?
Oh yeah,
There's extra noise coming through on your side.
sure, no problem.
Okay. Here we go.
an influx of hostile political extremists had wormed their way into influential positions within the industry, the hobby, and the media associated with both. I grew alarmed as I witnessed the decline in sales and quality, the rise in prices, and the destruction of the retail establishment upon which all depended. Then, because of my Republican Party affiliation, these extremists came for me too. I chose to fight back. I am ComicsGate. Others have joined me and called themselves ComicsGate as well. We've been punished with blacklistings, harassment and abuse, and false, slanderous accusations of bigotry and racism. These SJWs take cover behind marginalized people in order to gain control of powerful media platforms, unless those marginalized people oppose them. This is Peter Simeti, publisher of Alterna Comics Press. Alterna is facing the decline of the comic book industry by trying some old methods in modern times. Cheaper paper, lower prices. While Marvel Comics have cover prices of $4.99, Peter is able to make a profit selling his books for $1.50. He's also kept his ear to the ground, listening and agreeing with some ComicsGate ideas, especially with his employees' behavior on social media. He issued a statement explaining that his creators must not use blockchains, which are indiscriminate apps that block potentially thousands of Twitter users who are on the list of targeted ComicsGaters. Peter felt that his employees should use social media to sell their comics to customers, and that mass blocking potential customers would only send a harmful message that would hurt his business. This is a ComicsGate idea and principle, and the comics industry knows it. Ren, I trust you on this. Is Alterna Comics bad? Lots of pros follow them. They claim the comics are for everyone thing, but they seem to follow people on both sides of this graphic schism. Alterna's social media policy is, in my opinion, an indication that they care more about appeasing bigots and harassers than about the well-being of their creators. That makes them a shitty company in my book, and I don't buy comics from shitty companies.
Peter Simeti is a piece of shit. Got that off the chest now, too.
Don't support white supremacists, and your publishing company won't be blacklisted. Anyone that works with Alterna is going to be looked at suspectly now, as it's a publisher that trades in the alt-right. It's called The Truth. You can easily check. Just because I think Alterna supports white supremacy, alt-right, ComicsGate, whatever you want to call yourself today, doesn't equal harassment. Peter had a chance to say he didn't, and he refused. We're concerned that having to publicly explain that slurs and threats are bad will lose us business from the lucrative Twitter shithead demographic. Simeti claims the response to his new rules drove him nearly to suicide. Certainly, I don't want to see something like that happen, eh? No rational person would. But these morons think there shouldn't be a cost to bad actions and blame the people calling out his shitty policy. What company on earth do you think is going to punish an employee for using their private Twitter account to defend themselves against attacks from a hate group, other than Alterna Comics, I mean? Peter Simeti responded, I'm a minority, and you've been nonstop harassing me now for nearly 14 hours, trying to get my business shut down. You've accused me of being a white supremacist, among other things. You've become what you hate, and I hope that you get the help you so desperately need. All Nazis deserve to be punched in the face. If this statement upsets you because you're concerned that you yourself will be punched in the face, please note that you can greatly reduce the risk of that happening by not acting like a fucking Nazi.
I'm still waiting for someone to show me an example of an attack on Samedi. Every time I ask, they just show me screen caps of him complaining about being attacked.
I just had 2 guns pointed at me tonight because someone made a call to the police and gave them my address along with a falsified report. I'm shook up, but everything is okay now. I'm going to talk to the police tomorrow and see if I can find out more. According to the police, an anonymous caller pretending to be me called up and said that I had stabbed my girlfriend and that I was suicidal. They gave the cops my name and address. Just got back from meeting with the police and an investigation has been opened. As a result, I can't comment further on this situation, but I'm glad they're taking this very seriously and have been fully briefed on the extent of the matter. Thanks, everyone. None of this is funny. Anti-ComicsGate harassers, even now, are getting support from mainstream comic figures. Whoever swatted Peter Samedi, that was attempted murder. Cooler heads need to prevail. Now.
Yeah, some crazy people out there.
That's right. So that's the video I made back then. Pissed, furious.
Have you seen some of? Have you seen some of the new videos? People are sending him copies of themselves burning Alterna comics and throwing them away. I don't know if they were burning them. I guess they were just throwing them away.
Well, people can do that. That's free speech, and that's fine. One thing that I don't support, and I don't know if you guys support this. I personally do not. I don't support Captain Cummings, former ComicsGater, threatening Peter Samedi, saying, "You have till morning. You have till morning to post a police report of the crime, show a broken door, even make the video public, or I'm calling the police department myself. I will provide them with the videos of you tarnishing their," spelled wrong, "reputation." Peter Samedi says, "Thank you. I still have the video. It's on private. Can't believe Cummings would sink this low. Disgusting." Yeah, Cummings is denying that this ever happened. Yeah, Captain Cummings, man. I don't know what happened to this dude.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of people, and it's weird, but it's like a form of, you double down 2 or 3 times, then you're like 8x, so he's like 8 times crazier via 2 double down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's mathematical.
Yeah.
It's mathematical, I would say. It's mathematical. And again, Peter Samedi says, please go do it. Go call my local police department about this. Let them know about the swatting, February 12th, 2019, approximately 10 p.m. Peter Samedi. Yeah, that lines up with the video I just showed. Also, how do you know my town, my address, my local PD?
I was kind of thinking that too. All this does is just raise weird suspects about Captain Cummings. At the very least, it just proves that he's one of those crazy guys you got to watch out for. He's someone who talks so flippantly and openly about swatting that, it's probably in his wheelhouse,
Yeah, I believe that these guys are all now working to appease actual old school anti-ComicsGate, like people like Renfamous. I believe that's what they're doing. But this causes people real pain. It's not like saying I'm wiping myself with old Ethan comics. This is serious. Peter Samedi was swatted.
He's been through a lot. Anybody who's a human being can hear how Peter was talking about it at the time. And I wanted to do anything I could to help Peter. You can tell the guy was shook up. He was afraid. He was endangered. He has I don't know if he has children or not. I know he has a wife there. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
So things are crazy. Here's Micah Curtis. He says, Peter, seriously, stop giving him attention. He's a crazy person. Don't even acknowledge him. He's unhinged. That is the
Yeah.
way to deal with the 10-cent story. That is the way to deal with Cummings. I just block them. And I very rarely block people, but this guy is a dishonest. Like he isn't arguing on what would you say, with any integrity. He's just trying to fuck shit up.
Yeah, was it he was trying to say that some guy is a pedophile, I think, because he didn't say that he didn't agree with Ethan's funny song. Does that know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but I mean, it just sounds, equally crazy and like, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's great that like creators, we just mute each other. If you have a disagreement, you don't have to get along with everyone. If you can work with people, you work with people. If you can't like actively support, creators are here to help, each other get by. We're here to help each other out, not straighten each other out. So there's no need to battle. Just mute people if you don't get along, and then just go build something.
Yeah, see, this is the kind of nonsense,
Yeah, that's insane.
This is all organized, and it sounds paranoid, but no, it is. I mean, all these people get together and go, okay, now's the time to strike. Now's the time to strike.
It's frustrating how they gaslight too. Like they'll say, "What? You think we're all behind corners talking?" And it's like, yeah, you are. Even if it's just to the natural levels of how social media works, like I think someone said like confirmed that there's like a Discord with all the editors that hang out.
Yeah.
There is. That is the thing.
And it still doesn't work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that when ComicsGate guys get together and get things done, it creates a brand new positive energy, and we get stuff done? Obviously.
Well,
and then,
for one reason, Adam. I mean, there's one reason why we were able to do that. And that reason is because we're not soy boys. We're not.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geek Chorus.
Turn the industry into a dust bowl. Unsold comics by the truckload. They reboot stories, can't create nothing. Self-righteous bricks into fart puffing. You're a soy boy. You're a soy boy. You're a soy boy. You're a soy boy. Daniel Gilbert-Smith has a baby head. IT heroes make him wet the bed. Dreams of safe spaces and cries at night. Cause the world ain't fair. Oh, when the world ain't fair. For a soy boy. For a soy boy. Soy boy. Soy boy. Now listen. They bully people like they're from the street. But Mark Wade when he saw Uncle Lee, Sleazy Tim Doyle, and Fat Dan Slott, blame consumers for the mainstream rot. Cause they're soy boys. Cause they're soy boys. Soy boys. Cause they're soy boys. So give them rope and they'll hang themselves. Creepy dopes who belong in padded jail cells. Yeah. Oh, play it, Adam.
All right.
Those memes were good too.
My
Good
part was just
stuff.
background vocals. He wanted me for soy boy.
Oh, nice.
And he got me. Anything for Geek Chorus. The guy's amazing.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Great job. Everybody subscribe to Geek Chorus. He's got a whole lot of I don't know where you can download it. I think you can download it off of this.
Yeah,
site.
you
I'm
can.
not
You can
sure.
download it off of YouTube.
But it is fantastic. That's why we get
That's why-
stuff done. I don't understand these people who just want to sit back and try to wreak havoc for other people rather than trying to achieve themselves. I spell it out for you. People want to know, how did you do it? How were you able to sell Cyberfrog like that? I actually tell people every single day, and am willing to help. Of course I am, Adam. I'm willing to help in any way that I possibly can.
Me a lot. That's how College of the Dead 2 got to be color. I raised the standard of the package of what the whole overall book was. Got to work with Narwhal. Like that's ComicsGate makes it possible to do stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the things they're doing is their priorities are switched, where they're really into clout and they're not really into creative stuff at all. But the clout stuff is weird. Like they're almost like those people, the memes where people were like opening up scope in the grocery store, spitting in it, and then putting it back, and putting it on Instagram or whatever. They call them clout chasers. That's like what Captain Cummings is now.
Speaking of like communist soy nonsense, there's an article in ComicsGate, Ethan. I sent you this link I just sent you the link on Twitter, and I sent it to you in the private chat. I was shocked to see this. ComicsGate did an article, Heidi McDonald, about how comics are doing well during the pandemic on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I saw this. It's great.
It's like crowdfunding. It's doing well on crowdfunding, but they don't even acknowledge Indiegogo exists.
They don't acknowledge Indiegogo. They don't acknowledge Cyberfrog. Let's take a look at that article. It's pretty hilarious.
I'm like, you're not going to mention it at all. Like, and by the way, how do you not notice that?
They notice it. This is more gaslighting. The Beat, Comics Culture, with did Heidi write this? Heidi McDonald, the Dorothy Kilgallen of the fucking comic book industry. How is comics crowdfunding doing during the pandemic? Pretty good, but Kickstarter has had some rough spots in the pandemic crisis. But some comics projects remain strong for now. This is their great white hope, by the way. I was talking to Zach about this. I was like, do I we don't really talk about Kickstarter books very much, but they have one right now that they're really looking forward. They're very excited about this. Where is it here?
Is it Jimmy Palmiotti?
No, that one didn't do good at all. Lemire, Kint, and Rubin add playing cards to Cosmic Detective OGN. So it's Cosmic Detective on Kickstarter. They launched that this week. It's 4 days in, and look at this: $93,930. These are ComicsGate numbers. Holy shit! It only took like a Jeff Lemire and 3 like huge names in the comic book industry to actually get it right. Now this looks like garbage to me. I will not be backing this. But this is the one that they're talking about. They're like, crowdfunding. Is it a way? Is this? Oh my goodness! Jeff Lemire may have stumbled on a path for the future of comics. It might be crowdfunding. So here's more of this. Have you ever noticed how no one has been saying that the ongoing worldwide pandemic will kill comics crowdfunding or webcomics? But that's another article. Perhaps if a deep economic depression saps the world's economies and sends millions to breadlines, a possibility, crowdfunding may waver. But so far, it seems to be holding its own, at least as far as support goes. The news out of Kickstarter isn't all that great. They've announced layoffs of 40%. No, that isn't that great, Heidi.
It's not super great.
It could be better.
40% of staff. Like when you have a business like Kickstarter and you lay off 40% of the people, this is not a restaurant. That is everyone they humanly can lay off. That is a liquidation practically. It's not like just a couple administrative people. 40%. They were talking about laying off some people. They didn't announce it was going to be 40%.
And when she says send millions to breadlines, a possibility, that's wishful thinking for her. That's communism. So she's like, ooh,
hey, commies that unionized at Kickstarter, now's the time to strike. They just fired 40% of you. Where's your strike, pussies?
You know what? It's Patreon too. There were layoffs at Patreon too. I didn't realize that. Yeah, they got it as well. It's like not Indiegogo.
Every day.
Indiegogo.
These commies. News. Okay, so 40% of staff. The good news is that Kickstarter's new union negotiated a very generous severance package, which is what unions are good for. But the bad news is the 40% layoffs.
It's a lot. Kinda.
I gotta tip the hat to Heidi McDonald. 40% layoffs is a lot. That's a fucking lot. The reason goes back to a post from Kickstarter about a month ago. Campaigns are down. The piece was entitled "Odd Enough." Are people still supporting projects? Our data says yes. Fucking A, so does mine. $715,000 for Cyberfrog. To Wrecked Planet, thank you guys for supporting it. Just got picked up another couple of backers. $715,224 with 7 days left of what I can now officially say, of course, is the biggest crowdfunded comic book of all time. And it's going to get bigger. I'm sure of that. I'm sure it's going to do even better. We got 7 days to go. We'll see what goes on. All right, back to Heidi. So people are. Backers are showing support for creators who are going ahead with their launches. The number of visitors to project pages and the percentage of visitors who pledge are in line with what we saw before COVID-19. The funding success rate for projects has remained steady at about 45%. At ComicsGate, it's like 90%. You know what I mean? It really is. We get almost everything funded. When something doesn't get funded, it's kind of like, man.
But it almost always comes back again and comes back strong. Slaughter Squad by Joe King, who's an animator. He did a $10,000 fixed goal. He didn't know any better. And he's a part of the Wangcast show. And he's relaunching. He has the most adorable domain, Ethan and Narwhal, beefybull.com to sign up for his mailing list. Yeah, it sounds like a kind of gay porno, but it's totally not. It's just adorable.
It does sound like gay porno,
man. So you can sign up free for that. But ComicsGate doesn't stop. ComicsGate gets in there and gets it done.
All right, because creators are launching fewer projects and some have decided to cancel them like dummies, the number of live projects on Kickstarter is down about 25% from this time last year. By the way, Sean Gordon Murphy, please launch your campaign. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
What is he doing? And I'm really curious about that, how good it'll do and what he's going to do, if he's going to go full cuck, medium cuck, or mini cuck, which would be preferable.
My God. It's really scary. I mean, these people all group together to make fun of you and pick on you and cancel you. I will say I talked to another pro yesterday who was very upset because somebody that he kind of has been mentoring for a long time blocked him on Twitter for being ComicsGate. You know, I mean, it's like I said, harden your heart. Do not let these people get under your skin. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're all cowards. Comic book creators are childish cowards. The mainstream comic book industry, absolutely pathetic behavior. Look, it is scary. It's been scary for Sean Gordon Murphy, but get balls. You only have. Here's what I want to say. How long are you planning on working? How long do you want to work this hard for other people? You want to continue to work at Marvel and DC, slave away your youth, your young man years? How old is Sean Gordon Murphy? Is he old?
He's like 40, 41 or 39. Yeah.
I don't know how old he is. I can't tell. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, you want to continue to work for these people, or do you want to work for yourself? Do you want to call someone master? You want to call someone boss man? Or do you want to be the boss man, Narwhal?
Well, you look at Todd McFarlane, all the early Image guys. Robert Kirkman did it years later. They got their juice. They got their following at the big companies. They made them plenty of money. And Rob Kirkman was out there doing Marvel Zombies and whatnot. People got to know him in the industry. They got to know him for Zombies. And guess what? He launched his own creator-owned title. You might have heard of it, called The Walking Dead. Same thing. Todd McFarlane came out on Spider-Man, took over the entire look of Marvel Comics Spider-Man like no one had ever done before, completely broke out of the Marvel Studio style, and then took all that energy and did his own thing with his longtime passion to do Spawn, because he'd created Spawn years earlier before he got to publish it. So you're supposed to take advantage of the mainstream on their characters, on their platform, on their audience, and then let your customers know, hey, if you love me and you love how I handle this character for the mainstream, come buy my books, buy my character. That is your next move in your career. It's like you graduate graduate from college, and go on and start your professional life. Your professional life is making your own creations.
You know what I remember too is like pre-ComicsGate, like the scraps that pros would throw you, like no mentorships, no friendships, no great correspondence really. And then post-ComicsGate is like you get this whole, a ton of friends and creators and people you can ask questions. You can learn from tons of YouTube videos. Especially any young artist, I would like recommend 1,000% to join ComicsGate to get it put into this system of improvement. Just being in the stew,
Yeah, you get support. You get support like you would not even begin to imagine.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you join ComicsGate? Why wouldn't you be a part of ComicsGate and support Jawbreakers Grand Bizarre graphic novel? It's $67,224 right now. Enormous, incredible success. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? Why wouldn't you want to be a part of Return of the Warrior by Billy Tucci? Billy Tucci, this campaign's been going for a little while now, but I want to get this thing pushed. This was at 86,000 for a long time. I'm trying to push this to 90,000 for some reason that I can't remember.
And it would easily be over 100, but he decided like a bit of a crazy man. I love Billy, but he offered it on Kickstarter at the same time as Indiegogo, and otherwise this would be way into the six figures now.
Why wouldn't you want to be a part of ComicsGate when hail war campaign, hail the motherfucking war campaign, hail brethren, hail the brotherhood of war campaign. They come out with Vestige #1, $93,299 on their first book. Still pumping, still moving along here. We're gonna get to six figures.
And Vestige is in print now and will ship right away. You'll get it right away. You don't have to wait.
Yeah, they're going to ship this to you right away. Gat Hanzo, great writer. Donald DeLay, fantastic artist. Hail War Campaign, Hail Black Dragon, and all that shit. And then, by the way, over here, Ethan Van Skyvers, that's me. Cyberfrog 2, Wrecked Planet. 7 days to go. 7 days to go. And these anti-ComicsGaters are mad. Why are they so mad?
Some people are mad at me for College of the Dead being successful too. I'm really excited about that too.
They're mad because they have to ignore all this success.
Do you know how amazing? But seriously, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I had thought like if I got anywhere near where Deathsworn closed, because Carlo Rowe is an incredible talent. Like if I got Deathsworn closed at like 17,000, I was like, if I get anywhere near Deathsworn, it would be amazing because I'm going to keep, I'm in demand. I'm going to sell it for the next 6 months while we publish the next book. But I was like, oh my God, we actually passed Deathsworn. That's an honor because Carl is such a passionate, incredible talent, which is still available in demand too. Deathsworn.
Hail
Nice.
Carlo Rowe. Get your books done. Get them out there so I can promote you guys. I'm making rules. My rules are I am not promoting people anymore. Individuals who have not fulfilled at least one comic book. You fulfill one comic book, and I will bestow the blessings of my glorious sunbeams upon you. And your project, but you have to fulfill. These people who are throwing money at you, who want to make your dreams come true, who are saying, yes, we believe in you. We believe in Narwhal.
Yeah.
And Narwhal has fulfilled the project already.
I fulfilled Earthbound, and then EVS helped me launch on day one, launch Foreign Agent, and we hit 12K in like a matter of hours. So
that was fantastic. Yeah. That was fantastic.
Fulfill your campaigns, everyone. Get your books shipped to people. Do not put your comic books. By the way, Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, it's going to be in Target this summer before I fulfill to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's going to be a whole it's going to be a whole booth. It's just Cyberfrog at Target. And I'm going to ask for you guys to congratulate me too. I'll be like, yay, I'm in Target. You guys are going to be like, what the fuck? Where are my boxes? Well, and by the way, it's only $2 in Target. Yeah.
You're doing a special one half issue, right? Like Cyberfrog 1/2.
No, it's the whole book. It's the whole.
We need to meme this. Chat, you need to take your Cyberfrog, go to a Target, just put it on the shelf and take a picture.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Walgreens. It's good. Somebody says Walgreens, but it's green. That's the promotion. I'm going to ask you guys to congratulate me. I put executive honeycomb boxes, unlimited amounts for $3 in Walgreens.
Yeah, there's Cyberfrog at Starbucks now. What is this, CVS? Before you fulfill backers.
Okay, won't do that. And I recommend that you don't either. I recommend that you, and by the way, we want everyone to succeed. Congratulations to everyone who is a part of the Walmart deal. That's great. But Mitch really does need to get Red Rooster to his backers. Everyone else, Congratulations, Kelsey Shannon, Blake Northcott, all creative teams involved with that. This is huge. But remember your obligations to your backers. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass yourself. Get your books finished. Make sure that people are happy with them. And I will tell you this. Somebody sent me a message and said, Ethan, congratulations. He said, eat whatever you want to eat. He's like, just get the books done. get Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet done, and we'll send you even more money. We'll bury you in money. And I said, see, that's the kind of thing that people need to hear. They need to hear the part about eating whatever you want to eat in order to get because I said I eat chocolate to motivate me to keep working.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ethan. Go ahead and get fat, obese. Just get the book done, and we'll bury you in even more money. That's great. You understand? That's how ComicsGate works. Keep your promises.
We get the candy, they get the comics.
Yeah. That's a good deal for me. I don't mind drawing comics all day, and I, certainly, if I don't have to diet when I'm doing it, and I can become, I can look like Dan Slott by the end of the day.
Dan Slott. Chorus is so great.
It's a good deal.
I eat snow caps. I put them in the refrigerator, get them cold, and then I eat snow caps. They're tiny.
I don't like them.
They go fast. I have junior mints too, but I could go through like junior mints like way too many, way too fast. So no junior mints. Sometimes junior mints. Can't really control that.
Well, in any case, this is the way it is. So Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, please back it today. 7 days left to go. Let's, look, get a copy. Do not miss out on this book. I mean, if you can't afford to get the executive honeycomb box, that's okay. At least get the $25 perk. Get this one, or you could get the one that has my cover on it. Let me scroll down and show you one of my covers here. Right here. All right, so this is the Our Heroes cover. Imagine this in chromium. This is going to be shiny yellow. This thing is going to set your fucking car on fire. When you put this in your car, when you're reading this and driving it around, like if Zach tried to review this in his car, the reflection of this yellow chromium would set his fucking car on fire. This is the definition of hot. You need a copy of this. And then we've got one called Villainous Scum that I'm putting out as well. This is great. By the way, this one no longer available. Hey, Adam. Hey, Narwhal. Fellas, these two covers tell a two-part story. Ready?
Oh.
Ethan Van Sciver in 2017. Ethan Van Sciver in 2020.
Yes.
I like that.
Okay, that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about.
That first one is the Ides of March cover, right? That's what it's being called.
Yes.
That's the one I got. But I might get the box too. I'm going to write it off on my taxes.
Write it off twice. He'll send you, maybe copy the invoice and copy it twice.
I was thinking I might buy two and sell one just to say I did and show you guys how it's done or whatever. Make it.
Yeah, it's a damn good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Here is this is Philadelphia now. This is downtown Philadelphia, overtaken by the Vespis. And by the way, I'm going to have the humans actually call the Vespis murder hornets. I think that's great. They're going to call them murder hornets. They don't know what they're called.
How is this possible? How is this possible that I'm watching that on TV? I'm like, these murder hornets look like the Vespis guys. Like, what is going on? Ethan, what is going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Because you're kind of doing this.
Yeah, they call this predictive programming, Ethan. Are
you
in with the global elites? You know what the agenda is? What's going on?
Well, I will tell you that Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, is about a community that was untouched by the Vespis and why. And that's what Wreck Planet is about. So
that's us.
Maybe. And so here we go. This is Philadelphia. I mean, this is a spot. This is where I like to hang out. This is Gino's and Pat's Steaks. You go to Pat's, you get a cheesesteak. You go to Gino's, you get a cheesesteak, cheese fries. You can choose which one that you like better. This famous competition, but not anymore. Covered by human skin and the diarrhea of gigantic alien bees. Philadelphia is looking a little bit better than normal, but it is no longer producing cheesesteaks. And here are the Vespis. Here they are. Hollowed out. Our entire society, our civilization has become their hive. Following Cyberfrog home. This is the beautiful Pine Barrens where I live. I live right there. See my cursor right there. And here is Cyberfrog in a tree, looking down Yeah, the lovely little 10-year-old Lily Owen, who is related to Heather Swain by child. Well, I mean, that's her kid.
Mhm.
And Cyberfrog says, "Hey, where's your mom?" So in any case, this is Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, first 4 pages, couple of covers here. I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am. Do not miss out. Do not miss out on this book. Believe me when I tell you right now, the craziness that you're experiencing on the internet is in no small part. And I don't want to, Narwhal, I don't want to sound like an egotist.
You could be proud of your work.
But well, I mean, it's not just that. It's narcissism. I don't want to sound like a narcissist here, but everything does revolve around me. By the way, Narwhal, also, I was going to get a T-shirt that said "ego" on it. It was the Lego logo, but the L was missing, and it just said "ego." But they didn't make it in 5XL, so I couldn't get it.
Ego's too big. There's a Kanye West line. He goes, "Head so big you can't sit behind me."
All right, so not that, but this is why they're going nuts. This is why craziness is happening right now, because their narrative was defined by the idea that Cyberfrog would fail. Cyberfrog, of course, was the biggest ComicsGate project, the highest funded ComicsGate project, and they were really counting on Cyberfrog blowing it. And everyone told me, "You're not going to make $500,000 this time. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that." It's getting really scary for them right now as the numbers increase and as people continue to back this comic book. Look at this, 666, the number of the beast, and the beast is ComicsGate. This is us, guys. This is our moment to shine. And they're getting really, really upset. They're getting worried, and they're getting weirder and weirder. Now, here is Phil Cummings, Captain Cummings. Exactly. Peter Samedi is so against SJW's mainstream comics that he faked a swatting attempt for attention.
No. Cummings is switching too, where he's like, he used to be, he switched his message 180 degrees. What the hell? That means he was going after something else besides the message. It means he was going after clout. I mean, basically.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
He never believed it. He never believed what he was saying.
Yeah.
He never believed the goddamn thing he was saying. No wonder he deleted. No wonder he deleted his entire YouTube channel, and then changed it to wow.
His videos were just rambling messes, and they would kind of just be like, buying the latest shitty comic and then laughing at it, which kind of is easy enough. I mean, it was ripe for content back then, and you'd get followers that way. I mean, that's what started Zach's channel. But yeah.
I mean, this is astonishing. He faked a swatting attempt. Peter Samedi. And the weird thing about this is it's entirely projection. Like this is something they would do. Whenever they tell you something like this and you're like, "Hey, that's not me. That's not what I would do." That's what they're doing. That's what they're up to. Here's Carl Stefan saying, "Hey, bro, knock it the fuck off.
Cut it out."
Jesus Christ, what happened? What happened to Captain Cummings? What a fucking piece of garbage. Like, I don't want to say that. I don't say that lightly. But what a piece of garbage. I say that heavily.
It's creepy. It's a creepy thing. And Peter was so visibly upset by all this. Like, yeah, if you want to go after Peter, this is the way you'd go after it to try to hurt Peter. But you know what? It's not going to work because the first time he was not prepared for it. Now he's prepared for it. He knows what these people are like. He's not weak. He's incredibly strong. He inspires a lot of us. And he's very direct and supportive of people who love comic books. And he's just good people. And he's got a lot of friends, and customers.
The worst thing that SJWs do, I think, something that really gets under your skin. I mean, it's first of all, they swarm attack you. They try to drive you to suicide. That's the first thing that they do. Then, if you open your mouth to complain, they go, "Oh, little victim. You're a little victim, aren't you? You're a victim."
So evil.
And then you go, "Fuck." And then they go, "You made it all up. It never happened." So, I mean, it is absolutely insane. Now, if you are a hardened, vampire like I am,
yeah,
I become, you look at that, you recognize it for what it is, and you laugh. But that's what's happening here to Peter Simeti. Now, Peter Simeti was attacked. He was swatted. He had people who he was supporting. People who he gave jobs to. They turned on him. They called him names. And Peter's a gentle guy, man. He was driven to thoughts of suicide. We had to really pull him back from the brink. And so then he was swatted incredibly. And now the whole thing is, now that a year has gone by and Peter's recovered and he's starting to realize that he is aligned with ComicsGate, supports ComicsGate. Now the story is none of that ever happened. You were faking it for attention. Oh, poor little victim, Peter Simeti. It's a fucking outrage. It is an outrage. Poor Peter now victimized a second and third time with this kind of rhetoric.
Well, we're going to support Peter all the way, and he'll just be stronger. And he's offering a real alternative with Alterna Comics, and he's going to be launching Alterna distribution to help people get their comics to other fans and other stores and things like that. So Peter's great people and generous with advice and everything.
I remember that too when he got swatted and posted the social media outline and stuff, and everyone was going against him like he was ComicsGate when he wasn't. And that's kind of was a big turning point for me, just in my head, knowing that we're the good guys, like 100% we're the good guys, because they're just
clear. I mean, ComicsGate are the good guys in this situation. And the reason why I know I'm one of the good guys is because I don't lie. I always make it a point to tell the truth. And when I see them talking about me, they're lying. The things that they say about me aren't true. They're lies. So right from there, I know in my own heart, I'm on the good guys team. I am one of the good guys. They're the bad guys. If they had anything on me that was truthful, if they were saying things about me that were true, and I was denying them, then that would be another story. But these people all lie. That's SJWs, always lie, always project and always double down. So it is insane. Bob says, yeah, the far bit is right. Oh, look at this. What is this? God damn it, Bob. He's always got some horrible new avatar. F you, Bob. F you. Let's see. Antonio the Guido says, you lie about your weight. No, I don't. I don't lie about my weight, except I exaggerate it. Clearly I'm a slim 180 pounds, 6 feet, but I lie to be funny and say I'm closer to 300. Just to be funny, though, Adam.
Yeah, it is funny. It's always funny. What is your favorite chocolate, by the way?
I honestly, if I could eat any junk food, other than a nice lemon meringue pie, like just a store-bought junk food. Entenmann's chocolate-covered donuts.
Those are phenomenal. They do little black and white cookies.
Yeah.
I eat those. Those are not bad. Those are cool.
I could eat all 8 of those donuts in the box. They just disappear. They're like cotton candy. They disappear in your mouth when you
all 8 of those donuts. That's a lot of donuts
in one sitting. No kidding.
Can we do 4 of those donuts? I don't want you dying, but can we do 4 of those donuts when we beat the evil Earthworm Jim?
No, I'll eat the entire box. When we beat Earthworm Jim, I will eat all 8 Entenmann's. 4 doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to eat 4 of those. I'm eating half of this box. Anybody could eat 4 of them. You'd eat all 8 of them in one sitting.
It'd be funny to eat 4, but it would be amazing to have 8.
You eat 8 of those donuts. Get Cecil to drink a 5th of whiskey and do a stream like of self-destruction.
I am worried about Cecil. I am legitimately worried about Cecil. Cecil's drinking a lot and not eating. Like Cecil's losing weight, and I tell him like go eat a pizza before you get into that whiskey, and he's like no, I'm on a diet. All right, that's great.
Yeah, he goes to the beach and he says strange things, and I love that guy. I hope he's okay.
I do too. 8 is a statement. Messages will be sent. I want people to know. I want people to know. No more Cecil. He didn't fulfill, says Delta Spurg Force. That's right. I'm not going to be promoting cash grab anymore on this show, which is terrible. It's really going to affect him. He's at $170,000. I don't know how he'll recover.
How he's going to make it.
And in demand. But I recommend, look, do the book, fulfill the book. Somebody like Dan Fraga, who I love. The only person who I'm like, oh shit, like this is going to negatively affect is Dan Fraga. But Fraga doesn't need me. Fraga just doesn't need me. He is an entertainer on his own, and he's somebody who is going to attract support because he's trustworthy, he's funny, his comic book looks great. He doesn't need me. He's gonna do just fine, with or without me. So that's the one person who I'm like, fuck.
I love Dan Fraga.
I do too. I think he's a great guy. But like I said, I think the community loves him already, and they're going to put trust in him. I think he deserves that trust.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of been brought into the fold, and it's well deserved. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So I would say let's cut it off here. Go ahead and back Dan Fraga's Black Flag. You can trust him. I think he is going to fulfill. No, that's it. Never.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be happy to support the hell out of Black Flag too, which is he's already got a title for it, and all that stuff. Let's see. He will almost be as big as you. His book, I mean. Dan actually told me how he lost all that weight. Dan lost 60 pounds in a few months by intermittent fasting. And I didn't know what that meant. I just meant don't eat for one day, then eat the next.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. He's like, you go, okay, I'm only going to eat between the hours of like this time period in the day. And then Dan told me his time period was between 12 and 9. Fuck, I could do that.
12 and 9?
Oh, so just no midnight snacks. Yeah.
That's it?
That's it. And he lost all that weight, and he didn't do any exercise. And I was talking to Andrea about this, and she's like, I'm going to do it too. She's like, but I'm between 12 and 4. And you have to make sure that you get all of your protein in there. You have to make sure that you get all the calories that you're going to need throughout the day in that 4-hour window.
Yeah, I did that in college. I was on the meal plan. So I'd eat one meal a day and I just stuffed myself. And 1 hour after eating, I couldn't move. And 1 hour before eating, I was so hungry I couldn't move. So I'd lose 2 hours every day, but it kind of worked okay.
It seems very Norwal to do a thing like that. It's in continuity.
Yeah.
It's in continuity. Yeah. I look, I got to lose the weight somehow. I guess I want to. I don't know. Do I want to? Do I care?
I don't know. It's a good question because it's nice to be the lovable, huggable fatty, but then you want to keep. You don't want to die,
I had a dream. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I had a dream last night that I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was a very real dream. Yeah, I was like, oh, I got to go home and tell the kids. I got to tell my wife, and the cancer, that's serious.
First, you call Adam Post, and then I'll talk you out of having cancer because we're not fucking gonna do that. That's a no. That's a definite no.
It's not in my family. That kind of thing doesn't happen. I still have both of my parents, and then my mom, by the way, unfortunately, I have my mom's genes when it comes to weight. She is, I look just like her.
Do you literally wear mom jeans? Are you wearing them?
I knew as soon as I said that, I was like, hey, I'm gonna get hit for that.
Post is gonna rip me up on this one.
But my mom's a little bit heavy. She's still around. She sits in bed and strokes her cats. She's got like 8 cats, and she's Wiccan. We've talked about that before. She believes in witchcraft.
I'm glad you said cats and not something else.
Yes. Again, these are things that I'm careful. By the way, she's got a lot of cats. I only have one, and it's one too many. I mean, I will say this though. I left the back door open, and my cat got out. Lily got out the back door.
Whoa.
And I was worried. I was like, oh no, I lost my cat. I actually had feelings for my cat. And she was, she was upset. She was out all night. She was sitting in front of the kitchen, outside door going, let me in.
Yeah.
You won't do that again. I opened the door. She hauled ass, bolted in the house. So there's that. My basement is becoming the ultimate man cave, guys. The ultimate man cave. It is fantastic. Now, I will tell you this: Ben Hennycuck.
Mm-hmm.
Ben gave me a gift. Like early on in ComicsGate, he sent over a gigantic Lex Luthor statue.
Wow.
And I appreciated it because it was beautiful, but I also went, why Lex Luthor? Like, why wouldn't it be Superman? Like, why are you sending me a criminal mastermind statue of such detail and beauty? Nevertheless, I appreciated it. You guys have seen it. It was sitting on the table over there. Well, Ava comes downstairs yesterday. Andrew and I were talking down here while I was drawing. We weren't paying attention to what she was doing over there in the lounge area.
For 1 second. For 1 second. You turn your back on your child for 1 second.
No, more like 10 minutes. We were completely negligent. Okay. And she was on the table. She's dancing on the table. And she pushed Lex Luthor off of this glass table. And it hit the floor with a thud. And it broke into 8 or 9 pieces. And it was like, I looked at it and I said, do I want to glue this? And I went, I don't want to glue it. Like, it's broken. And she was up there laughing about Humpty Dumpty and stuff. And I was like, no. It's okay, babe. So I had to get a new statue. I have to get a new statue, and preferably not one of a supervillain. It just felt like I was worshiping Lex Luthor. You know?
That's like Galactus. Galactus. There's some great Galactus statues.
Galactus would be good. I'd be the Eater of Worlds.
Yeah. SJW Worlds. And you feed on them.
Yeah, I wanted Elvis or Sinatra down there because, it's Vegas. I'm making the whole lounge look like Las Vegas. And I was looking for Elvis, by whatchamacallit. What's the Hot Toys? No, not Hot Toys. What's the other one? Sideshow. Okay. Sideshow was great, right? Sideshow.
High quality. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, look, I would think they could do likenesses. And I was pissed off because, this is their Elvis. Look at this.
They don't love Elvis.
That makes him the opposite. Like, his voice is like.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed with this. This doesn't look like Elvis at all. Like, not at all.
Yeah,
they got it wrong.
It kind of looks like Paul Dano. If you guys know who Paul Dano is, he's the priest sidekick character in There Will Be Blood, but I don't know.
Oh, I thought you meant Paul Dano from Iron Maiden.
No, I'm talking
lead singer of Iron Maiden. No. There Will Be Blood. Yeah.
Have they done a Scarface? Maybe Tony Montana or
that would be cool. I would do a Scarface or a Godfather.
Scarface is even better energy, probably. Because you're going to the top. That's it.
Is there one of the Sopranos guy? Because that guy is your hero, kind of.
I relate to him a lot, Tony Soprano. I do relate to when I watched The Sopranos again, I watched it all the way through. I related to it in a new way. In that first of all, you're in a position where you have some
conflict,
a little clout.
Yeah,
and then there are people all around you. There are some people who automatically want to undermine you. And then there are all these circumstances where misunderstandings cause big problems. And that to me is ComicsGate. It's like, for me, Ethan said this, and then that spreads around and it's completely not what I said or what I meant. And then it causes 8 or 9 people to fracture and become insane with hatred for me. And I watched Tony Soprano deal with that for 7 seasons. And I was like, this is my life. That is my life right there. It's like the dumbest misunderstandings mixed with jealousy and power lust and, all this stuff. He dealt with his problems more effectively than I do, though, Adam.
That could be therapeutic, definitely.
Some of them, but it looks like they got him at the end. You feel like they got him at the end, right?
Yeah. They got him at the end. I'm sure of it. If you watch the show, in the season where what's his name? Damn it,
Junior?
No, not Junior. Tony's cousin or his nephew.
Yeah.
Christopher. Christopher gets shot. He goes to hell. In his dream. They tell him, they say, hey, tell, one of the guys who they killed, who's in hell, says, tell Tony and tell Paulie 3:00.
Yeah. And
then he comes back with that message. He says 3:00. So Paulie is sitting there spending all his time trying to figure out what happens at 3:00. When did, what is this? What's 3:00? When did we shoot this guy? Was it 3:00? Well, in the last sequence, and we don't know what it means for Paulie. We never find out what 3 o'clock means for Paulie. But in the very last sequence, Tony Soprano is sitting in a restaurant eating onion rings, and a guy in a members only jacket. Members only there was a whole episode called Members Only. Okay, goes into the restroom, goes into the men's room at Tony's 3 o'clock. So if you actually see where he's sitting, the guy goes into the restroom at Tony's 3 o'clock and comes out. Again, presumably.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was warning him. He's saying, look out, it's coming from your 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's like, I would have thought it was about time and they're going to cut to a clock at 2:59. Ooh, that would be so good, right? Like, that's so much better.
So we got to figure out what happened to Paulie. What is 3 o'clock? I looked more closely to see what 3 o'clock could mean for Paulie, but I guess we just don't know.
Remember that episode of Paulie when he went to the psychic because he was feeling guilty and worried about people that he killed. And the psychic was like, there are a lot of angry people around you. What the fuck are you talking about? He's like, oh, you're saying that he shot you?
Chris,
Crazy Louie. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you homo. Your whole thing. And he runs out of there throwing a chair and shit.
Chris Hassian says that's not what it means. Well, I'd like to hear your theory. I mean, obviously, I didn't get it from David Chase. It's just something that I think. But everyone is entitled to their own theories about things.
There are some YouTube shows talking about the Sopranos theories and stuff like that. And they're interesting. I watched a couple of them over the years. But, hey, an amazing show and amazing guys having fun and a lot of drama and crazy internal drama and struggles. It's funny because it also kind of comes down to like, look, it's number one, don't piss people off too much because it's not necessary. Number two, like you protect your reputation within the community. And number three, like it's just merit. If you want to buy more copies of Narwhal's book than my book, you made a terrible mistake. No, you should do that. He's an incredible genius. Like I'll come back and I'll, work harder on my next one, whatever it's going to be. And you build your platform, and then people, they are vying for attention of Tony's attention and this deal and that deal. So it is kind of interesting. It's a whole different perspective.
Yeah, Tony. Let's see. 3 o'clock means Flavor Flav tried to kill him 3 different times. Oh,
yeah. That I have heard that theory. Okay. I have heard that theory.
In any case, all right. So let's go through this one more time. I just want to say fuck Captain Cummings. Before we close up this kind of segment here, fuck Captain Cummings because, dude. Don't say stuff like that. I mean, seriously, don't mock somebody like Peter Simeti. I know you're going through twice as much now because you seem to have lost your soul. But that guy didn't do anything to you, and he was, he was swatted. If at any point in your career you actually meant anything that you ever said, back when you were talking about ComicsGate, when you were ComicsGate, if you meant any of that, you should know better than this. There's still some people somewhere that respect you. And I'd hate to see you lose those 2 or 3 people that are left. Let me read some super chats. Thank you guys for sending them. Liquor Jim says, Peregrine, Wings of the Falcon on Indiegogo now. S. Gamble says, caught up on your videos. Finally a live stream. Wow, caught up on my videos. S. Zofia N says, please give Cyberfrog a praying mantis anti-hero. Egg Chen 6 Demon Bag says, look up Japanese bees killing murder hornets. Oh, wow.
I saw that. That was awesome. That they said that they've lived amongst hornets in America, our bees haven't. So they're really worried our bees will get annihilated. But in Japan, their bees know how to deal with it. And they set traps and they end up surrounding them and vibrating so that the hornet's body temperature overheats and they cook just a little bit, but it's enough to kill them.
You know what? There are all these videos now because everybody's afraid of murder hornets. Mouse versus murder hornet. You know what I mean? Like people love that because it's comforting.
Yeah.
Andrea said there's a video of a guy who got stung by a murder hornet deliberately. Like he always lets himself get stung and bitten and things like that just to see what it's like. And like his whole arm swole up and it was screaming.
So don't do that. We don't advise that.
That sounds awful. Yeah. Let's see. Charlie's London says, hey, Ethan, great show today. And I love 11/22/63. It's one of my favorites. I love it too. Please, can you give a shout out for episode 1, Charlie's London, the Victorian Boy on YouTube. I hope you guys like it. That's Charlie's London has a new YouTube channel where she's talking about Charlie Chaplin. So go watch that video, please. Heel versus Babyface. Thanks for a unicorn sticker. Genuine Comics says, if you're looking for an awesome new comic now that the mainstream has killed itself, check out Perfect 10 on Indiegogo. It sure can use some support. Hank Spectrum says, hail Caesar, hail Adam Post, hail Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. I think the pool is going to be open today.
Great guy, great supporter, ComicsGate, Hank Spectrum.
Hank Spectrum, I love everyone who, all these people are just
fun. I recognize the name. He's been very kind to me, specific. Like, I love these people. I love everybody.
Charlie's London says it's totally fair. As a new creator, it's essential to earn the trust of the community. This is why I'm building my YouTube and trying to do things right. Charlie's London is going to be doing a comic book about Charlie Chaplin. So
she's involved. Just so I don't know if everybody knows, she's involved with the estate of Charlie Chaplin. Like she's legit. She's doing quality.
She's got permission to do a comic book about Charlie Chaplin from the family. That's amazing.
Yeah,
and she's a historian, I think.
Yeah. Teacher too. Great person.
Michael Bancroft says, as a new unproven creator, I think it's a reasonable stance to take given what's happened. Everyone I've spoken to feels the same way. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting some clapback from people who are like, well, now you're just like Marvel Comics. You're shutting out the little guy. And that's not what I want to do. I don't mean to, first of all, what do you mean I'm just like Marvel Comics? But
right.
That's ridiculous. It's not what I want to do. I just, I have to lend my name to things that make sense. I can't just kind of give everyone the benefit of the doubt all the time on behalf of the customers. And by the way, it's like the people who watch my show are my customers. So I'm kind of lending a little attention to other campaigns. I don't know what happens if people put $50 into these campaigns and didn't ever receive them and then decide they're never going to back me again.
Well, Narwhal, just because I don't think you were on at the time. My take is if I'm on Ethan's show, it's really an endorsement. I'm asking him for his endorsement of Adam Post and whatever project I'm doing. Do you not feel that same way that if you're on Ethan's show, you're talking about Foreign Agent the first day, you're getting an endorsement from Ethan to his customers?
Yeah, we've seen that. And where if you betray that endorsement like Critias did, we've seen that and it's already happened. So it is good to take action. And there's two mantras to tell people if there's anyone kind of with that point of view, because CG has kind of dealt with this rolling thing of perception from the beginning, but the two mantras are a rising sea raises all ships and grab an oar and row. And we do have infrastructure for little creators. You don't get to jump straight to the Tonight Show. You can come on my channel. You can come on Winger's channel.
Yeah, and there are 30 channels now. When I first started, like even a year ago with this, like there was like 5 or 6, and there are like 30 now. So you can build yourself up and build your own platform. But it really is necessary to protect for the health of ComicsGate. It's necessary to protect that when Ethan endorses somebody by having them be on the show, by making somebody cool, like he makes me cooler, that is those customers are going to get satisfied, and that Ethan can control that on some level.
All right, let me see here. John McGarity says, please design future boxes to match Rect. Abstract patterns and logo outside, characters inside. Your promo cards look great with matching backs. Yeah, I'm going to do that, John. Don't worry. Well Hung and Dung says, in light of your comments, I'm refunding Cash Grab. Thanks for the heads up, Ethan. I didn't say anything like that. Do not refund Cash Grab.
He's teasing.
Thunderfeet says, hey, where's my Cyberfrog action figure? If Todd can do it, why can't you? Oh, I'm working on it. We are definitely working on that right now. It's a big process. The Buzz General and the J Team says, back Carrot Butt and the Pie of Doom by Anus with a $sign at the back. Comics. Is that real?
I don't know. It sounds great though.
Yeah, Liquor Jim says obviously Cecil is exempt as he was never shipping. Let me see. Wondrous History of Classic Film for $20 says, I wonder if McFarlane would make a toy of your character. Yeah, I think he will, but give me 5 more years. I need to prove myself to him. So I got to, my books have to keep coming out. They have to be good. I have to continue to get some attention. So I would love Todd McFarlane to make a Cyberfrog toy, but I have to earn that. Aquirum says, what actors would you fan cast as Green Lantern, Flash, and X-Men? Green Lantern, I would cast Sawyer from Lost as Hal Jordan. Flash, I would cast. I don't know, some
Narwhal, the perfect Flash.
The X-Men, I would cast Adam Post.
Yeah, X-Men. I could do them all.
Just doing crappy impressions of each one. Your barber got my cigar.
It ain't pretty what I do, but I'm good at it.
Keaton Smith says, just picked up Reservoir Frog 1 and Ashcan and Cyberfrog versus Creed. Robert Romano says, thank you, EVS. You've done so much for ComicsGate and creators. We need to build our own channels first. We got this. Hashtag ComicsGate. I know you guys do. Keaton Smith again says, no worries. Her customer service is great. Good, Keaton. I hope your book shows up. Robert Levito, thanks for $2. Charlie's London says, let him wipe his butt with TP. You can wipe your tears for him with Cyberfrog money while they show their work in half-empty artist alleys. Damn, Charlie's London.
Brutal.
Damn, taking him to the mat. Boom, Charlie's London. Micah Curtis says, Phil Cummings fell in with Methwin and JDA and has gone insane. What? I love that. Like, I swear to God, I love that. Like Methwin and JDA and all these guys, it's like they have their own gravitational pull, and once you're in it, like you're orbiting around ComicsGate, like with fury and anger and dishonesty. I love it. So
failure too.
Failure.
Did you hear they're making a movie/TV show of Tiger King starring Nicolas Cage?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Edwin's involved in that?
No, but that just reminds me, like, ComicsGate could be a movie. There's so many characters.
Oh yeah.
Casting like Caesar and stuff is funny.
I want to play Narwhal.
There will be one day. There'll be a movie one day. I'm sure of it. Or something. Why wouldn't there be? Or a documentary. Anyway, as Mikey Curtis says, he needs to go to the VA for counseling and spend time with his family. He's unwell. Yeah, I actually do sense that he's not doing so good. Nolan Earth says Brian Bendis is a woke Drader. Read backwards. A retard Ewok. Okay. Sulfur X Comics says, hail chat, hail Comicsgate. 200 Watt Studio says, guy at the bar offered $1 million to sleep with Narwhal. Narwhal would do $1 million to have gay sex with a stranger at the bar. Narwhal, what's your answer to that?
Maybe I'd have to decide if I'm pitching or catching.
Make it 1-2 and all cash. Done.
The inexorable word nerd says anti-ComicsGate level of cuck equals cuckzilla. 200 Watt Studio says, where's my red rooster? Damn it. 200 Watt Studio says Hut was dragging Mitch a lot. Yeah, well, Plan 9 Good Time says, EVS, what's the origin of the Nazi accusation? I used to make a lot of Nazi jokes, when I was a younger man. Because being in comics meant that being a Republican in comics meant they all called you a Nazi. And so I kind of took it lighthearted. I was flippant about it because I felt it was all in good fun. So the stuff that I did that was all in good fun, like Mark Waid calling me a Nazi and himself a communist and stuff like that, was used against me as soon as Trump was elected, as though I were being serious. And that is evil. I am, of course, not a Nazi, but I do think Hitler jokes are funny. I do not think that Holocaust jokes are funny at all or anything like that. But, that's the line. Comic Books in Cahoots says Dan lost 60 pounds. Ethan found 80. Argentina 2003 says you mentioned a big name coming to ComicsGate soon. ETA. That's, like a month, I think. Again, I can't promote them. It's like I just made new rules for myself, so I let them know. It's like you're not going to be on my show. I hate to say it. You'd be on my show, but not to promote your comic. Comic Books in Cahoots says get a statue of Wimpy. He's an obtainable goal. Liquor Jim says Critical's latest video, how good is the best Green Lantern. Robert Levito says wish I had any drawing skill. You all keep up the good work. And Donuts One says, Narwhal, treat them rough and get the muff.
Definitely.
I'll be CG's house sex worker. I got OnlyFans already. Sub my OnlyFans for exclusive erotic content.
Yeah.
Per Narwhal.
Andrea emailed me about a Heather card. I'm on cloud 9. Yeah, Andrea, let's see. We ran out of envelopes. and I had to order a ton of new envelopes. We ran out of card sleeves. We have a ton of requests for these trading cards. They are great business. Not that we're making money from them, because we're really not. We're probably making 25 cents per card that we're sending out to people. But people really like getting them. And I talk about marketing, in my thing. How do you market? Well, sometimes it costs money to market. Now, Doug TenNapel, for example, is spending money on Facebook ads. I would say don't do that. I would say do not spend money on Facebook ads. If you could get people together, find out who your audience is, and find a way to give them something for free, something that actually is, physical, a trading card. That is a great way to keep your product and keep you in their minds. And this is working out great. People get the cards and we hear back from them. I'm going to go back Cyberfrog 2 right now. It's like, that's cool. That's the way to do it. Facebook, targeted Facebook ads. I'm just like,
it's a lot of work. And, I love the idea of, and Andrea sent me cards too. Like, you just send it out, then she's always friendly. You get the card in the mail. It's fun. And it's cool. It's collectible. And it's a great way to have engagement. And it's really, and to have constant engagement with people.
Yeah, definitely. Ragmuffin says news about blacklight posters. They're all boxed up. Well, they're all tubed up upstairs. I don't know if Andrea I don't know if she's out of bed yet. I've been streaming since 7, but I would ask her when she's going to put the labels on those. I don't think she's printed them out yet, but she means to do it soon. She was going through and getting all the cards out. That was a lot of work. But yeah, those blacklight posters will be shipping soon, very, very soon. Eric Clef says, I haven't gotten my card yet. Frowny face. She said yesterday she still has 100 more to go. I told you guys, I said, I think she's done. I think we shipped out the last batch of cards. And Andrea sent me a text that I didn't get until later that says, no, we've still got 100 more to go. Please tell them we have 100 more to go. So that could be you. Let's see. Cumberbatch Pepperpot says, does anyone know when Rent Planet comes out? You mean Wreck Planet? It's supposed to come out in May of 2021, but we're going to ship it out before Christmas, Cumberbatch. So that should be, we'll get it done by then. All right, so let's take one last look here. I want you guys to please consider supporting Vestige #1. This book is great. I've read this book a few times at this point. The art is great. The writing is great. What a nice surprise to see, Gat Hanzo, who was fun to talk to about this. I mean, his knowledge of history is pretty vast. What a fun thing to actually read his book and see that he tells a good story and he spins a good narrative. This is a really good yarn in the style of superheroes and the Twilight Zone. It is really cool. So pick up a copy of Vestige. You guys already are supporting it pretty strong.
And it's in print now and it ships now if you order it now.
Yeah, exactly. You won't have to wait like everybody else did. You're going to get your books in your hands in a matter of days. Return of the Warrior by Billy Tucci. If you haven't backed this one yet, make sure that you will. Billy Tucci, of course, has a long history of getting his books into the hands of backers. Do not look at this beautiful artwork.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and he already did a crowdfunding book. This is his second crowdfunding recent book. He shipped one last year.
I really enjoy Tucci's Twitter feed too. It's kind of wholesome dad a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, he's a great guy. This is amazing too. It's just beautiful artwork. So, back Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar. Your boy Zach, he said let's do a live stream today. So maybe we will. Maybe I'll do another one tonight, just me and Zach. Once he's ready to go, we'll talk about some stuff. Back Jawbreakers 3 Grand Bazaar. Great artwork by Aaron Alfecci. And a beautiful cover by Kyle Ritter. Please back my book, Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet. The reason of the season. 7 days left to go, everyone. 7 days left to go, and we are approaching $716,000. We've got 3 more boxes to sell until we get to 1,700. 3 more boxes, and we're at 1,700.
Think of the donuts, people. Think of those 8 Entenmann donuts that we're going to get to watch Ethan eat. Those chocolate-covered ones.
If we get to 815, Entenmann's donuts, yeah, you better believe it. I will open the box at one end, and I will That's not a problem. I'm interested in.
I wanted it to be 4 because just try to negotiate here so it's not that rough on you. But you will do whatever it takes for your fans. Entenmann's Donuts is where it's at. 8 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm hoping for. Wow, $715,704 right now, guys. Thank you. You have 7 more days, and Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales is just in demand. So if you didn't pick up a copy of this yet, look, these are only $10 a piece. These are beautiful color foil embossed reprints of Cyberfrog 1 from 1994 and Cyberfrog 2 from 1994. It's going to have some cool, fun stuff inside, relettered by Eric Weathers and colored for the first time. These were like black and white newsprint books when they first came out, colored for the first time by the great Kyle Ritter. And also there's a Wreck Planet preview mini comic that you can pick up with an exclusive brand new cover by Jay Lee that won't be used anywhere else. Please pick up a copy of this. You can read the first 10 pages of Wreck Planet, and there will be 10 pages of exclusive extras, including possibly, even though I got yelled at for saying this, but an exclusive 4 pages of origin of one of Cyberfrog's biggest villains. And when I said that, everyone said, "What? No." We'll see about that. Over here, by the way, also our eBay store. We're selling through Cyberfrog Blood Honey team-up variants very quickly. Every time I put up a new batch, we sell them quickly. So you can get a Cyberfrog Blood Honey team-up variant copy right now. Andrea will ship it to you. You'll have it in 2 business days in your hands to read. And then also, because you asked, we went ahead and put up our last supply of Cyberfrog Chromium variant covers. These are expensive. These are rare. If you don't have a Chromium Salamandroid, you missed it 2 years ago. You missed ordering it. Here's your chance to get one. We put up 100 of them, and we've already sold more than a quarter of them. So,
Ethan, that's a great picture. How you have them all spread out like that. It looks like fun.
It looks pretty
fun. Yeah.
When people get this book, they're so happy to own it. Like the Chromium is just the best thing ever. People get it and they get excited and they're like, "Wow, it's beautiful," and they don't even want to read it.
Yeah, you just want to put it on the side. Yeah. They end up buying a reader copy. But yeah, Chromiums are great. We're going to do 5 Chromiums for Wreck Planet. Every single copy of Wreck Planet is going to look like that. The Jay Lee one, every cover is going to be Chromium. So fun stuff. Your line art covers are really impressive, by the way, too. I hadn't back any of them, but I saw one that I think it was Kevin Thompson, one of the famous ComicsGate backers, had a picture of your Vampirella line art cover. You can kind of see the blue line. It's not just black and white; they look beautiful.
Yeah. The blue line.
Yeah, it looks like a real original art page.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Do the Cyberfrog ones look? Those Cyberfrog line arts look like that, or
no, they're just scanned black and white artwork like that. That was just a scan so that you could see my blue line scribbles and everything underneath that. For that
really cool
Vampirella book.
Yeah, really cool. People don't know what they're buying when they buy one of these. It's better than it looks. It is better than it looks.
Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited. We are going to do another live stream tonight. I hope you guys will join me for that.
For sure.
Look at Narwhal. Narwhal, are you tired?
I love Narwhal.
No, I'm good. I just woke up. I'm excited to hit the day. This our schedules, Ethan, line up like every couple months, because we're all on this circular working schedule where sometimes you're sleeping, sometimes you're awake. And I don't know. I like it when ours line up.
I do too. It's great to hang out with you. College of the Dead graduation day. Adam Post's book.
Ooh, baby.
It will be shipping. When will it be shipping?
I'm going to ship it June. I already have everything done. We've got the prototypes. I'm going to be printing it. We just have to finalize the files for them. And I'm going to ship this one myself. The other one I used a fulfillment setup to do it. But this one I'm going to do myself. I'm going to be putting them in boxes. I'm going to be taping these up. I'm going to be mailing them out. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. So yeah, I'm really excited to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Actually, if anybody wants to specifically hit me up on Twitter, or if you're one of the backers and you want me to sign it, I'm happy to do that. I just don't want to start writing on people's comics without permission. Hey, it's Eric.
Just when we're about to leave.
How are you guys living? I just got up. It's not a big deal.
We're closing out the show, but I wanted to say hi to you. And thanks for the great work on Unforgettable Tales. I look forward to doing more with you. Thanks, everyone. Please back College of the Dead, Jawbreakers 2, She, Return of the Warrior, Vestige #1, Cyberfrog Wreck Planet, and Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales. And we will see you all again later tonight with me and your boy Zach, I believe.
Exciting.
Hey, real quick.
Yes.
I'm launching Battlebrick Road in an hour. So.
Oh,
Nice.
You have fulfilled, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Twice.
Like a real man.
My evil Grinch smile.
Mm-hmm.
That means I get to promote you.
Yeah.
All right, good. I made rules, Eric. I have rules now. I'm only throwing support behind people who have reliably fulfilled a campaign before. That's everybody in this room right now.
Yeah.
Battlebrick Road launched on Indiegogo in 1 hour. 11 o'clock. It's gonna be great. I'll talk about it tonight. Everybody go over there, support Eric Weathers. Eric's got this book. Let me just explain what it is, Eric. Eric's got this book where it's like it's The Wizard of Oz, except it's like kick ass.
Yeah, with guns.
Yeah. Do you want to show the video? I know you're getting ready to drop out, but
where can I find it?
It's on the battlebrickroad.com.
Okay,
and that'll take you right to the campaign, battlebrickroad.com, right? Yeah. So everybody can write that down. You'll be able to get to Eric's campaign. Eric, you haven't launched yet. Is there still time if people sign up? Can they get an exclusive trading card? Yes.
Right. We have an exclusive trading card that only if you sign up early and back it will you get this card. And
but you don't have to back it like today, but you have to be on the email list, right?
Back it all together.
So guys, you just go to battlebrickroad.com right now. Put your email address in. It's free anyway. And then if you back it after the campaign launches, hopefully today, but doesn't have to be today, Eric is going to cross-reference those email addresses. If you were on the Battlebrick Road email list like I am, you're going to get, like me, that extra free exclusive card.
That's right.
Let's check this out.
Thea Gale has grown up in a world brought to its knees by drought and monstrous dust storms. Now, a message from her long-lost father will set her on a path through an exotic land. Along with her trusty sidekick Toto, she must befriend a ragtag group of outcasts to endure the many challenges along the way. Battlebrick Road Operation Zephyr is a 52-page graphic novel in the first volume in a 4-part series. From artificial intelligence to genetic manipulation, Battlebrick Road brings an original and multi-layered story to the familiar backdrop of Oz. Back it today and help bring to life this apocalyptically fresh take on the classic American fairy tale. Only on Indiegogo.
Oh, perfect. tight like a drum. Great, man.
Man, we worked on that for a while to get the audio just right. I was trying to get 30 seconds, but it was close enough, right?
Perfect.
Seconds.
Perfect. Great project.
Yeah. I have a few loose ends I need to tie up, but we're ready to go. 10 o'clock, guys.
Sweet.
Dude, I love it. That is that. Here we go. Here's Adam Friended. Hi, Adam Friended. How are you?
What's up? How's it going?
Get the
Good
party
morning.
started. Let's just keep streaming. Go for 8 hours. So we get some beer.
I'm sorry, Ethan.
It's like I ran out of things to talk about, but now we've got like Eric and Adam here, so we might as well keep going. Look, Battlebrick Road. That was the perfect pitch video.
Thank you.
First of all, let me just say I'm glad you added Operation Zephyr to it because that was the original title of the book.
Yep.
And you threw it out for Battlebrick Road, and then you just decided to add it as a subtitle. Which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've said over and over again, Adam Unfriended, and nobody listens to me. Nobody listens ever. I've said over and over again that people make up their mind about what they're going to buy within a few seconds. You know what I mean? Some encouragement is all that's needed from one of these campaign videos. They're looking at it. They're going, this looks really good. Am I going to buy it? I feel like I'm going to buy it. And they click the video. And in 30 seconds, like Eric just did, he sold that book. Sold that book in 30. Closed the deal. Music, beautiful graphics, visuals, a few words, and it is done. Should we do it again? Let's watch it again. Everybody's excited.
Yeah, the artwork looks amazing, Eric. Looks awesome.
Thank you.
Perfectly done. I'm so excited about this. All right, here we go.
Thea Gale has grown up in a world brought to its knees by drought and monstrous dust storms. Now, a message from her long-lost father will set her on a path through an exotic land. Along with her trusty sidekick Toto, she must befriend a ragtag group of outcasts to endure the many challenges along the way. Battlebrick Road Operation Zephyr is a 52-page graphic novel in the first volume in a 4-part series. From artificial intelligence to genetic manipulation, Battlebrick Road brings an original and multi-layered story to the familiar backdrop of Oz. Back it today and help bring to life this apocalyptically fresh take on the classic American fairy tale. Only on Indiegogo.
I do like the voice over there. It's awesome that you explain the product. I like that a lot. A lot of people on YouTube just listen to videos. They don't necessarily watch them. So
yeah, honestly, I'm not even one that does that. I don't tend to watch the video on Indiegogo. I just, because we always seeing everybody promote their product on stream. The only time I watch the videos is when they show them like this. So
yeah, me too. Kind of. I'll just go straight to backing it a lot of time.
I just wanted to get in and out and make it.
No, dude. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Both of you newbies here. Are you noticing a groundswell of soy? Are you hearing the thunderclap of angry, what would be called piss babies on Twitter right now? Are you noticing?
I'm hearing rumblings.
A coordinated, assault, a wave of bullshit.
I think I have most of them muted, but I do jump into their threads every once in a while and have a little laugh. You basically put Vickyverse in her place pretty handily, and I think she's a little disappointed about that. I think she had delusions that your ribbit corn empire was going to put you under. So that
empire.
Yeah, I don't understand these people. It's like your smallest campaign. Like it's just.
They think I would do that intentionally. I mean, that's where they go wrong. They think that I would intentionally misjudge who I am. They think I would intentionally swindle my backers, who give me millions of dollars, and that I would do it for
1%.
Yeah, why would any rational person do that? That makes absolutely no sense at all.
So I mean, it's like, okay, so these coins aren't silver. I didn't know that because the way this works is I have people who say, look, we would like to merchandise your character, and so we're going to pay you a percentage, and that percentage is fairly low. It's like 10%. If you let us put Cyberfrog on product and then sell it, you can promote it, et cetera, et cetera. And I go, yeah, okay, because I want Cyberfrog stuff out there. Now, Ribbitcoin was originally just going to be a part of the Cyberfrog trading card set. But because we couldn't coordinate those two things to come out together, we decided and we already had the coins, we decided to go ahead and just release the coins. I asked for a description. I was given a description of what the coins were. That was Chinese whispers between two different parties and then me. So when I just posted it on my Indiegogo campaign, I just assumed it was correct. Why would I think anything other than that?
Yes, someone might have been trying to swindle someone, but it wasn't you trying to swindle anyone.
If you read the conversation, it's pretty stupid. It's a lot of people misunderstanding each other.
Right, miscommunication.
It's not intentional at all. It's clear. So it's like when I found that out, I actually thanked them. Thank you, Thomas Royal Loop. Thank you, Vicky. Two big fans of mine who with Google Eyes.
The two giant fans.
Yeah.
Watch out, super fans. You got some competitors out there.
Absolutely. They noticed this mistake, and congratulations. Here's the thing. I went to them and I said, refund everyone. Even the gold coins, which were 24 karat gold plated coins, exactly what we said they were. They get to keep them. You're going to give them their money back. And they reluctantly agreed. I guess that's what we need to do. So we refunded a good 75%. Everyone, we put out the thing. We said, send us your PayPal request for a refund, and we'll refund. 75% of people came back, asked for refunds. We promptly refunded everyone and let them keep their coins. That is a happy customer base right there. They get free coins now. And that should be the end of the story as far as I'm concerned.
I don't like to signal boost our detractors too much, but I did see a clip going around of one of them talking about actually purchasing the Ribbit coin for the kid that did the mayonnaise thing.
Yeah.
Which seemed very suspicious to me. What exactly happened there? Do you know?
Yes, Doug TenNapel.
You're saying his name.
Doug TenNapel paid Thomas Royal Loop, who is penniless. I mean, Thomas Royal Loop is a bum, and paid him to buy one of the coins because Doug TenNapel had a theory that the coins were just stickers or something like that on the coin, and Thomas Royaloop found that the oils in mayonnaise could actually lift the ink. Right? If you look at a video of this, it's like a 4 ink process. You put the coin in there, and then white goes down first in the shape of and then another layer of inks and another layer of ink paint, and then it's done. You can peel that off if you want to. I mean, if you're retarded, you can actually throw that in mayonnaise and loosen the paint and pull it off, I guess.
So was it not a sticker? Was it actually? So it is enamel paint, but mayonnaise takes it off?
That is correct.
Okay.
With mayonnaise.
Interesting.
These people are stupid. And so then that was the first thing that was just like a womp womp. Yeah, I guess, you can, if you want to dip these coins in mayonnaise, you can pull the ink off of them.
Not guaranteed to withstand mayonnaise.
That's right.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Got you on that one.
Don't do it. Don't put them in mayonnaise if you want it to last. But the second one was they realized that one of the coins, was advertised as 99.9% silver, and it was not. Okay, it just was not. And that was a miscommunication between, my licensee
and the manufacturer, the licensor, and
Right. So that made it to, and that was dead on accurate. Good job. Thank you for pointing that out. And we needed to fix that promptly, which is what we did. And made sure that everybody was satisfied and stuff like that. But they ran with it and said Ethan is defrauding people and needs to go to jail. I consulted my lawyer. I said, look, I didn't even know about this. Doesn't mean anything to me. I'm sorry this happened, but this was not my, it's a product I'm advertising. It's not really me. And I didn't know. And fraud has the element of intent behind it. You have to actually intend to deceive someone. You have to intend to defraud someone for making money and all that stuff. And I could prove. I went on Vicky's show.
That's not, none of that is even remotely fraud.
No, I know it isn't, but I went on Vicky's show and I actually had evidence. I showed her the emails and I said, I'm going to read you the correspondence and the timeline to show you how a mistake like this happens and how it's obviously not fraud. It's not intentional. I would never defraud anyone or any of my backers. And I showed it to her and it shut her the fuck up for a long time. And then she went, why was one of those messages green?
I know. She made like a follow-up video. I couldn't even follow the follow-up video. I was like, what? Get the yarn out and the chalkboard, Vicky. Come on. We need a presentation here.
Restated what the whole thing was. But the message was green because I couldn't find the original message. It was I responded to that message. And so, on emails where it's like, they
jumble them around.
Yeah. Right. That's why the message was
green. She went through and she's like, I'm going to put a timeline together here. I know Ethan's lying somewhere. We're going to figure out what exactly. We're going to Jesse Smollett this right here. We want video.
Why would I lie about any of this? It's not something
you wouldn't. It makes absolutely no sense at all. It's like you have a campaign. What's your campaign up to? Like $700,000 for Ribic for like $2,000 that this company is going to give you in royalty. You're going to throw away your entire crowdfunding career. Yeah, right. That sounds genius.
Every penny counts, and I'll get it no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to pay for those top hats somehow. That was a gorgeous top hat.
Thank you. I did. That did inspire me to buy some more antique clothing. I've got a closet full of. If I decide to come out in costume, I've got plenty of options. But I mean, this is the thing. They were counting on that. It was very dispiriting. Preston Poulter is like a supervillain. Like he hits me up like, "You defended yourself very well, Ethan, didn't you?"
You've convinced many people.
Donald put Preston and your tweet exchange as Sinestro and Green Lantern, and it was fit perfectly.
Oh, that was Donald who did that? That was awesome because Preston speaks like a supervillain.
Yeah.
I've had Preston in my DMs tell me to fuck off a couple times. So I probably shouldn't cuss on the morning show.
No, you're allowed to cuss. You're allowed to cuss on the morning show. No
Hide the kids. Hide the kids. You got the potty mouth here.
He's from California, everybody. So it's
we cuss in the morning in California. We do.
Normal language in California.
I heard that's that's how PewDiePie got big. He said is he's at 2000 circa 2010. He was the only YouTuber swearing a lot, and kids really laughed at it. They thought it was funny to hear a foreigner say the F word. So he got like 1 million followers right away.
Cute.
His accent is hilarious. He does have the perfect accent for YouTube because it is just, it's funny. It's totally funny. It reminds me of Metalocalypse, where on Metalocalypse, they all have funny accents. And I don't even know if they're legitimate accents, like if it's a Swedish accent or not. But
yeah, it is funny. It's a great show.
The jokes flow that way.
Rich Speck says, yeah, I felt like a celebrity when Andrea emailed me.
Yeah, she's very personable. She is. She's very personable with the correspondence, and yeah, you don't get templates. It's very nice.
No, she's into it. I mean, she really enjoys. Well, look, it's work. You know, here's the thing about Andrea. She's a bank manager, so retired bank manager. Now she's a stay-at-home mom. So she's perfect. Right in there with the professionalism. You know, she'll make sure that you get your cards. He says, I can't wait for my trading cards and my honeycomb boxes.
Wow,
that's great. Yeah, I'm glad Andrea is up there kicking some ass.
Print out that Andrea email, frame it, and sell it on eBay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you might get some money for that.
Get her to sign it at the CG Con next May.
Well, she's coming. I think she is going to come to ComicsGate Con and stuff like that, which will be interesting because we haven't been to a convention together in a long time, but we used to go all the time. We did all the Wizard Worlds together, me and Andrea, and it was a good time. It was fun.
Did she enjoy that? She enjoy the shows.
She enjoyed dating. Here's the whole thing. Like, we were dating. I lived in North Carolina. She lived in New Jersey for like a year. Like, we were apart. And, I would drive up there. She would drive down here or fly down here. And then, Wizard World would fly us around to conventions for free. And I'd get one extra ticket, right? So I'd bring Andrea. They'd fly her from Philly. They'd fly me from North Carolina. We'd meet up in some, I don't know, Texas somewhere, and just spend a fun drunken weekend together. So she'd be at the convention. She kind of got to know what it was like. Those conventions were death. I mean, they were the only thing that we did. The only thing that was great about the Wizard World shows is they had bars. There was a bar on the convention floor.
Wow.
So we would get fucked up and nobody would come. I mean, there were no fans there at all. And if they were there to meet Aquaman or something like that. But we got absolutely sloshed. We just party. It was fun. It was good fun.
Convention scene can be all right, but it gets grindy too. It's real grindy.
Well, we don't mind. I mean, the thing is, like, convention. My life going from convention to conventions is over. I mean, it's absolutely over. I still see Smiller doing those, and selling prints, and I'm like, oh my god, if I'm 50 years old and still going to conventions and selling prints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. You can just do it from your house.
Well, you guys did pretty good with the auction, right?
That's what we do. Yeah, I mean, there's the problem for me is like sitting there behind a table like a caged animal. And just hoping somebody comes by to visit you like you're an exhibit at the zoo. It's so humiliating. And basically you can make way more money selling the same stuff from your house. Or we have our little eBay store. We do auctions.
Don't you do some crowdfunding comics too? You do like an Indiegogo every now and then?
Yes. Yeah.
That seems like it's working so far.
Have you guys talked about Sean Gordon Murphy at all? Are you guys watching his videos?
I watched the one where he cocked. I haven't seen. There was another one where supposedly he came back.
Yeah, he's done about 3 videos, and they are super interesting because, like, the values that he's espousing sound very familiar to me. So it's like his last video. He talks about. He really talks about a lot of the things that we talk about in ComicsGate, which I found totally fascinating. So he seems like a completely interesting guy. So
where do you think he is? Would you
like on the ComicsGate scale? Is that what you mean? Like,
yeah. You think he's here?
I think he is. I think he has misperceptions about ComicsGate. I do think he's like a dyed-in-the-wool progressive. Like, he swims in those progressive waters. He thinks like a progressive. It's funny because he had that little dust up with Doug TenNapel over the cover on what was it, Bigfoot Bill 2 he did a cover for, and then, you know, obviously the social justice warriors outed Doug as a bigot and a transphobe, you know, kind of the same stuff that they do to us. I'm curious, you know, if Sean Gordon Murphy believes that, or he's just, you know, kind of
He doesn't believe
bowing to them.
No, because he's explaining like,
well,
Doug,
Doug is the only one of us that you could make an argument that the things he does is transphobic. Like, he's openly misgendered people. That's something I wouldn't necessarily do. You know, I don't mind if people do it. I think everybody has the right to do it. But as a business professional, I don't think it's a good way to run your business. Like, I don't think if he did that, he would have lost a Sean Gordon Murphy cover.
But he did the whole thing where he's like, oh, well, it's a bad look to make a lot of money right now on crowdfunding.
Oh, no, that's Sean Gordon Murphy. Yes. Yeah.
So they're like that. If that's where his head is at, he's looking for approval from his other quote professionals.
You should watch his most recent videos, though, because he's done 2 other videos and he's doing these weekly videos. And I'm really curious because, I mean, it seems like YouTube is kind of a good fit for him. So, and as far as we're concerned, I mean, you got to admit, I'm wondering how big his campaign is going to be. I mean, Frega. I keep trying to. Sorry, Frega, if you're in the chat.
Frega.
Frega, I mean, did amazing straight out of the gate. He has amazing artwork, and he obviously has the background for it. So I really am curious what Sean Gordon Murphy would do, but I don't think his values are out of alignment. He's definitely on the progressive side, but he sees us as a bunch of right wingers. I am not. I wouldn't describe myself as a right winger at all. Like, I'm pretty much a straight up centrist. So
yeah, I feel the same way though. But I mean, this is the thing. I think all sane people should see themselves as centrists, and the rest of it's fucking crazy. That's, you know, I mean, I don't, you know, if you say, are you a right winger? No, it depends on where I am. It depends on who I'm around. If I'm around communists, I'm a right winger.
We all are.
In the real world, I'm a centrist. I vote Republican usually. In fact, always. And that's about it. But I don't know anything about Sean's politics. I know that he flirts with ComicsGate. I think he agrees with a lot of what ComicsGate is about. But he seems to want to have it both ways. He's one of these guys. He's on the fence. He's trying to appease people. That isn't going to go far with ComicsGate when it comes to crowdfunding something.
No.
If you want to know like how these campaigns are doing, where guys from the mainstream come over. I mean, the beat here. We were just talking about this today. These people are completely ignoring ComicsGate. By the way, we don't count. But this is what they're talking about right now. They do have a pretty successful campaign up there right now. Jeff Lemire, who is a big name, about as big as Sean Gordon Murphy, just put out a book called Cosmic. I don't know who Matt Kent is or David Rubin. You'll have to excuse me. I don't know who these guys are. This isn't Dave Rubin. This is David Rubin. Here we go. This is their campaign, Cosmic Detective, on Kickstarter. Is this going to take me there? Yeah. Okay. Cosmic Detective. Look at this. In 4 days, $94,427. This is comparable to Dan Fraga. You know, to what Dan Fraga was doing on Black Flag.
Yeah, not bad at all.
So this is like a big deal. Is this what Sean Gordon Murphy's speed is going to look like as he crowdfunds? Maybe, yeah, probably.
Honestly, I mean, most people aren't even going to know about any of that drama that went on. The majority of people aren't going to even have that on their radar. So I have a feeling he's going to do pretty good. He's got a big name behind him. That goes a long way.
I know in that first Cuck video, he said one thing. He said, like, I'm going to do YouTube, but I'm not going to be a cult of personality. I'm not going to be a radio host.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I wonder who you're comparing. Like Ethan again. The world revolves around you. It truly does.
I'm not going to eat pie.
Ethan got a shout out in that video, didn't he?
Yeah, little wink.
I mean, what am I going to do? A cult? What is a cult of personality? What is that about?
It's misconception. Total misconception.
Yeah, all it is being popular and liked. That's what it is.
How do you avoid becoming a cult of personality? How do you say that I'm not going to be that, and then don't be that? Do you just be boring and every now and then tell people to fuck off? But what if they like it?
That's what I try to do.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand that argument, but yeah, that showed a little bit of disrespect for me. So I'm not thrilled with that, Sean.
Oh, okay. I got you. I didn't realize
you didn't put two and two together on that.
Hold on, did I uncover a professional rivalry here, Ethan?
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm rivaling.
Yeah, rivalry would put Sean on semi-equal plane with Ethan, and that I don't feel like that's really.
Well, maybe he is. I don't think about anybody. I don't think about any of these people. None of these people are on my radar. I don't know who. I've never read a Jeff Lemire book. I've never read Sean Gordon Murphy's books. I don't think about these people. And I got to be honest with you. It's like most of the professionals that talk about me, I don't know who the fuck they are either. I mean, I really don't. I know that might sound arrogant, but I don't know your work. If you're not Todd McFarlane, if you're not like John Byrne, Walt Simonson, Frank Miller, or any of these guys who kind of came up with me, I don't know who you are. And God bless you, but you know, we're not.
His show is nowhere near as entertaining as your show, Ethan. I don't know the guy, so I mean, it's interesting for me just because he's telling stories about his career and stuff like that, and he is talking about the crowdfunding environment, and he does seem to be learning very quickly, like the YouTube atmosphere. He is definitely reading the comments and taking in what people are saying, which I think is good. Most of the time, you encounter these social justice types, they get on YouTube and they shut the comments off. Like they don't want any feedback whatsoever, ever. So
yeah, that is that people who don't want to hear what the fans say. One of the things that I learned early on from your boy Zach is you have to listen to what the people are saying back to you. When you have a YouTube channel, you read the comments. And Zach used to come back and apologize sometimes. I remember that. Like early on, he would say something or goof in some way, and he'd come back the next day with a video and say, "Okay, I heard you. I heard you loud and clear. You guys roasted the fuck out of me." He'd use the word roasting rather than criticize or yelled at or whatever it is. You roasted the fuck out of me for doing this or saying that. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I was like, that's an interesting way to do business. Actually listen to your customers and respond and react. I mean, most of the stuff that I learned about what I'm doing, I learned from Zach.
Well, that's how he hired me. That's how he hired me on Jawbreakers. Was he posted his lettering and then he got roasted, and I happened to email him. I emailed him and was like, "I can help you out on Jawbreakers."
Fragga boom!
Oh,
Good morning.
Hey, Fragga.
Hey, Dan.
How are you guys?
Great to see you, man.
Great to see you as well. Adam Friended, how are you, man?
I'm good.
You before. Narwhal, haven't met you. How are you, man?
Good to meet you.
Good too. How are you, E? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Doing a nice morning show. Been going for about 3 hours now, but
he wants to get off.
Oh man, sorry about that.
I had a theme. I had a theme that I got through. Lately when I do my shows, I have a theme and I have evidence and I have stories. And then when I run out of them, I'm done.
What was the theme today? What was
the theme today? Is threats, lunacy, mental illness. Anti-ComicsGate comes unglued live, and I want that. Yeah, well, I mean, there's some stuff that we can't even talk about that is evidence of that. Zach showed me some crazy shit, and I was like, "Are you going to do a video on this?" He's like, "No, because it doesn't have anything to do with comics." But most of these like anti-ComicsGaters, mainstream weirdo SJW types, have other jobs. They have regular jobs, and they just do comics part time because they can't make a living at comics. And this series of tweets was this individual has obviously been doing drugs the entire time, is high the entire time.
My timeline. Don't show my timeline.
What kind of drugs you got, Fragga?
Were they rapping? They were rapping too.
I just literally rolled out of bed.
I can tell, dude. Look at you. It's Grandpa Fragga.
It looks like the Percocet had just started kicking in, Fragga.
No, I'm on the other side. I woke up at 5 a.m. like, my wife brought me some Percocets, and then I'm like,
oh,
I wake
nailed
up
it,
and I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. What the hell just happened?
Dan, I could have sworn like 2 days ago I saw you on YouTube and the mustache was gone. But it's just me, I guess.
I'm Portuguese. I'm Portuguese, man. We're a hairy beast.
Awesome.
As a whole, we're collectively hairy. Mike Green's in the house.
Hey, Mike Green. All right.
He's Portuguese. He's got to shave every 20 minutes, just like me.
Dan, every time you see somebody promoting Black Flag, feel free to shout it out. I'm not allowed to anymore.
I heard that. I saw a tweet. They're like, Ethan's not for you, bro. I'm like, you don't know.
That's not what it means.
No,
like the consequence of my own self-imposed rules are it means no more. I don't personally promote you or Cecil anymore, among others.
Ethan, what's the name? What's the name of my book? Do you know what this symbol is for?
Yeah, that's Black Flag.
Oh yeah,
I read that book in the 90s.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's back. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did. I did hear.
Oh shit! You're promoting my bookie.
I was tricked. I was led down the garden path.
Congratulations, you just played yourself.
Dan's going to do the cover for G.I. Jackrabbits. I'm really excited about that.
Did you hear what the Beastie Boys in one of their songs? They said, "Put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself."
Oh,
I love that thing. So what is this?
Anti-ComicsGate, they tie a string to the quarter so they can do it over and over again.
That was quick.
They do it with the rivet coin. They want to see if the enamel will come off.
Rivet coin and mayonnaise lube.
Yeah, that's how they discovered the mayonnaise worked.
Liquor Jim Wings says Peregrine Wings of the Falcon passed $20,000 stretch goal for foil trading card. Next goal is to beat deadbeats. I love goals like that. Support Graded 0.5 podcast in this goal. Thank you very much.
That's like everybody's first goal, to beat deadbeats, because it's like the lowest book.
Yeah,
I gotta say it's a little bit like climbing Mount Everest. There are dead bodies along the way, and everybody knows the name. They've named the dead bodies that are frozen, and they've been there for years. You know, you see those dead bodies, and that's a milestone. You know, Deadbeats is one of those dead bodies.
Deadbeats is George.
Yeah, you know. I mean, you see that. I saw a documentary about it, and I was like, that is so bizarre. That is crazy. But if you die on your way up there, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
somebody going to rescue you?
No, they're going to leave you up there.
Yeah, it's your idiotic fault.
What's all the crazy tweets that are out there? What have I missed?
Well, we got a couple. I mean, first of all, these things are all coordinated. Whenever Anti-ComicsGate and SJWs come after us, you can tell that they're meeting somewhere because they all have the same story, the same agenda, and they all swarm at the same time. It's been very quiet lately. It's been very quiet, but 7 days of Cyberfrog to go. We're $100,000 away from passing Dirtworm Doug's final 5-month score.
Oh my god!
Excellent.
And with a week to go, and that's a week is all we need. I got to be honest with you. I'm clocking my own shit here, and a week is all we need to make $100,000 on this campaign. So
make that happen.
It's quite possible. It's quite possible.
Doug all the time says that campaign is the largest campaign in crowdfunding history, and I tried to verify that. How is he getting that? Like, is he just?
Well, he's just comparing it to mine, and that's all he's doing. The truth is, there is one campaign called Order of the Stick.
Okay.
And Order of the Stick was a stick figure book from that was funding from the years 2012 to 2015. That was for Dungeons and Dragons gamers, and it raised $1.2 million over the course of time.
Web comic. Yeah,
it's a web comic. So that is the big goal. Once we shoot past Doug to Naples, which I think we're going to do, the ultimate goal that I will probably be able to pick up if I leave this in demand is to beat Order of the Stick, and to do it within a year.
Yeah, 1,254,120. Over 14,000 backers.
Wow.
Almost 15,000.
That's a lot of backers.
Yeah.
That's a lot of backers.
And that was back in...
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
2012.
Over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
what was the price point? What was the price point on the stick?
Well,
it was all over. $14 looked like, let's see. I'm just scrolling through. $15, $16.
What was their marketing campaign?
They had a huge webcomic.
Yeah.
So it was popular already. They went out to an audience that they already had.
In 2012, nobody else was crowdfunding like this.
Yeah, first time.
It was the big one.
Well, I just know when I was on Doug's show all the time, he would say the largest Indiegogo campaign of all time. It was like a huge thing for him to say. You would be taking that. You would be taking those words right out of his mouth. He could never say that again.
Hate to see it. You know, that's very sad. And you know, Bigfoot Bill too could have done it. Could have cemented his place, but it didn't. Adam, it didn't cement his place.
Well, he'd always be able to say the second biggest crowdfunding campaign.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't have the same ring, does it? No. It doesn't sound as cool.
Now, of course, Cyberfrog Blood Honey did raise $1,060,000, or $1,060,000.
Right.
That's what Cyberfrog Blood Honey raised, all told, across like 6 different campaigns. But we're just going to leave this one here. I'm not going to do any more Wreck Planet campaigns. We're going to do it all just with this one. And that is the agenda. That is the agenda here. I hope you guys will help. I know it'll be sad. I know many of you in the audience right now, 1,436 people watching right now, really love Doug TenNapel. I think he's a nice guy. Really like that Doug TenNapel is behind the scenes, pulling strings and influencing former ComicsGate creators towards their failure and doom while he laughs at them. Calls you guys stupid and all this stuff. Promises books that he doesn't ship. Charges $75 to ship. All of this. I know you guys love that. I know you respect Doug TenNapel. And I know you want him to hang on to his $815,000 for Earthworm Jim and his technical #1 spot for a single funded book. But some of you out there might think he's an a-hole. And if you are one of those people who thinks he's a dickhead and an a-hole and a filthy piece of garbage and a dirtworm who has destroyed careers and influenced comics gators like Mike S. Miller, for example, like Georgie Pusianopoulos, for example, and countless others to the complete failure and abandonment of their careers, maybe you'll consider, in that spirit, buying a copy of Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet and moving this number from 716,000 to help it push towards 816,000. Push forward. And every dollar that you spend is another one of Doug TenNapel's tears. In a bucket of tears that we will deliver to him 7 days from now. 1 week from now.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch the live stream. Doug's first live stream after that happens. Oh, it's going to be magic.
Doug, after day 1 of this, Doug went, I'm only competing with myself. I just want you to know.
He backed out already. He's already got his on the wall.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you said shipping because I need to.
We should send Doug a first runner-up trophy or something. Second place trophy. That would be awesome.
I wouldn't mind doing that. A nice trophy. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Second largest crowdfunding campaign ever.
Would you like that? Is going to be the stretch goal.
Yeah, do it.
$816,000. We are going to send Doug TenNapel a second place trophy right to his house. Unbelievable.
Silver.
Second place trophy right to Doug's house.
But it has to be like 47% silver. It can't be 99.9% silver.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's funny. Oh my god. Yeah, it'll be full of ribbit coins. We'll fill the trophy with ribbit coins. We can do this. These are things that we can do together, Adam, because we're immature and there are no adults telling us what to do.
No, it's true.
No.
Who wants to grow up? Come on, that's lame.
We're in Never Land over here.
You can't tell us what to do. We're gonna do whatever we want. By the way, just to remind you, one of the most tragic casualties of Doug's meddling is Elliot Fernandez.
Oh my God.
Doug led him to financial ruin and artistic obscurity. Now, I forgot about you're right. Obscurity. I forgot about Elliot Fernandez. That is correct. Doug snatched him up, and then ruined his career, maybe even his life. Unbelievable. Everyone loved Elliot.
Elliot's good people.
Talent, real talent.
Now he's stuck with an unfulfilled project too.
It's not forever though, right? Elliot could come back. The only thing standing in his way is him, right?
No, it's Elliot has here's what happened. Elliot crowdfunded a book called Doom Kicker. Right at the moment with Doug TenNapel. Doug TenNapel's Doom Kicker with Elliot Fernandez. And right at that moment that launched, Doug attacked ComicsGate and built that whole rift, and then refused to promote adequately Doom Kicker. He was more interested in promoting Earthworm Jim. So Elliot Fernandez is a great guy. He's very entertaining, but he's not going to get out there. He's not going to promote a book as well as Doug should or could. And that book, which he was tied down to contractually, raised maybe less than $60,000.
Yeah, 52, I think.
And it's a 100-page book, right?
Doug gave him 100 pages of script to draw. So Doug stuck him with this, and the script was unworkable at 100 pages. And so Elliot is stuck with not enough money to produce this Doug TenNapel production with the script that he can't draw. It doesn't make any sense. He has to work through the script. 100 pages. It is an absolute catastrophe, and he's stuck.
Is that his first campaign?
Yes.
Elliot's first campaign?
Well, first comic book campaign. He did a sketchbook.
Okay, so he's delivered a book already then.
Yeah, I've offered Elliot to come on here, but see, Elliot is, I don't know. Elliot doesn't really want to be involved in the conflict anymore that, is being ComicsGate. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
So
it really killed his momentum because he's a super talent. He did a cover for the Zaid Comics Magic Cop guys, and it's really unfortunate because that doesn't happen inside ComicsGate. Those kind of conflicts are not even possible because we wouldn't do that to each other.
Oh, we help each other. I mean, that's the thing. Ultimately, I thought a few times about, it's like, what can we do to help Mitch Brightweiser get Red Rooster done? But we can't help him. I mean, what are we going to split it up? Does everybody want to take a few pages and get that book done? That's not what people want.
I can do the lettering. That's as far as it goes. No, I can't do anything.
That will be a little bit comparable to like Cyberfrog first campaign, where there's a big hullabaloo. As soon as he delivers, people will forgive him. But
people will forgive him.
Until then, he's in hot.
I don't know about that. I disagree. I don't think people will forgive him because the book's in Walmart. And like Cyberfrog, nobody had Cyberfrog until everybody had Cyberfrog.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easy to forget the lateness. I don't know that it's easy to forget the snub. I mean, people are looking at it as a snub. So
yeah.
I did a live stream with Kelsey the other day, and I didn't understand why Mitch just doesn't go out to his audience and try to make it up to them. I mean, that's the best thing to do in my estimation. Just find out what he can do, what he can include, obviously something extra to deliver. I don't know. You guys got ideas? What would you guys do? Well, obviously, you guys would open it up.
They did that, but it wasn't enough. They did the gesture. Yeah. So I backed it, so I'm speaking from that point of view. They sent out like postcards or whatever.
Yeah, but postcards are not going to cut it. Come on. Let's be real.
That makes people even angrier.
Yeah, honestly. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, why not like send the PDF of number 1 and then promise to send the PDF of number 2 as soon as that's done? I mean, at the very least. But I almost kind of feel like, they're in business with someone else. So that other person, we don't know what the investor is telling them to do. And I'm not excusing what happened with Mitch. He should have just shipped the damn book first. And he never should have left crowdfunding. Walmart's not as good as crowdfunding. It's a great opportunity, but it's not as good to leave one to do the other. It doesn't make any sense. But
I agree with that. Is Walmart returnable?
Yes, Ethan, it's 100% returnable. And I've talked about this. Peter's talked about this. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars that an investor spent to print and make those books, and much more editorial in the future. That's 100% returnable which means when or if it doesn't do the numbers that they hope it would do, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars lost that hopefully they didn't personally guarantee.
I just want to say, man, I hope Mitch does well. Like I'm trying to come up with ideas for Mitch to bring it back in. Like I feel like he's done something that the ComicsGate community obviously doesn't like, but I don't know why it has to be the end. If he can negotiate some kind of reconciliation. Yeah, with the community. Like, what can he do? Like, I could throw out like doing a head sketch in every book. Like, it seems like that would be an amazing amount of work. It would be an amazing gesture. I don't even know if it's feasible because I don't know how many books he has. But if I'm a backer and the guy says, I know I screwed you over and I feel bad about it, I'm going to put a head sketch in every single one of these books. I'm saying, that guy has gone the distance to make it up to me. Like sending me a postcard, like Ethan sends out trading cards just for people joining his channel.
Adam, that's really a great idea, by the way. A head sketch in every book is.
Well, I don't know if that's feasible. That's why I don't talking...
either. But I think it just to think that way is.
I don't think asking Mitch to do even more drawing work is going to is the solution to this problem.
Ethan, I know. See, maybe what I'm saying is wrong, but you have to open that dialogue with your audience. You have to ask them what is going to make this right. Don't. Maybe I'm wrong here. Do you guys disagree?
Communication is always good.
Well, yeah, you do have to ask them, and the thing about it is that I'll play you a little Deadwood Dale video here. I mean, Deadwood Dale is making some great ComicsGate content lately, and he summed this up in a way that was pretty nice. And part of the problem, I guess, is in this video. So let me do that. And thank you, Deadwood Dale. Everybody, please do subscribe to Deadwood Dale. Hey, Eric, how's the clock for, we got 15 minutes until we launch?
15 minutes. And I wanted to mention one more thing. I just got a text from James Dean Anderson, who did the logo of Battle Brick Road and many other logos and designs for ComicsGate. Excuse me, just took a drink. He got a big bunch of Cyberfrog comics just now. And he said, hey, let everybody know that we've got one for him. So if you sign up, battlebrickroad.com, I'm going to throw this in. One lucky person. Sign up before the campaign goes live in 15 minutes. One lucky person is going to get a copy of Cyberfrog #1, the original Harris Comics. Oh, wow. Cyberfrog #1. I will pull the name out of a hat. We'll announce it sometime in the future. But battlebrickroad.com, sign up. Again, 15 minutes from now, the campaign closes, so you're going to get...
Campaign opens. It opens.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
We're with you. We're with you, Eric. We'll get it. We'll get it funded. All right, here we go.
All right, hello everybody. Hello, fellow backers of Red Rooster. From
this is weird right here. I didn't notice this the first time, guys.
Yeah, it's missing.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't want the trouble. Like why isn't it there? What's the reason for that?
That one it wasn't printed. Those were just the founders editions that they had.
This wasn't okay. All right.
Ago.
All right, good.
From 2 years ago, a lot of talk about this situation since people are now noticing Allegiance Comics in Walmart. There's a display that's similar to that of the DC Comics that they're putting in Walmart. This is an image that's over 2 months old, so it's not exactly breaking news. We already knew about this deal. We already knew. Check this out.
All right. Here's what I wanted to play. This part here. This is not how to talk to people who are upset with you.
And this is another. You guys put the screws to me, don't you? You like it.
So this is Ro Kabir. This is the War Campaign YouTube account. We are rooting for you, Mitchy Poo. Now, this is just War Campaign. Guys like to rib each other. The thing about Mitch is that he doesn't really know that much about War Campaign. He's not around ComicsGate that much to begin with. So when you get this kind of ribbing from Ro, you're probably going to misinterpret it. This is from a stream that he took down because Mitch started swearing. He started getting a little frustrated.
I admit it. It's taken you 23 months to draw a 68-page comic. You can start a national company.
Now, this is Elizabeth Breitweiser. She was obviously a mod here in the chat. We're also trying to uphold a dying industry and great American art form by getting comics back into mass retailers to create a new generation of readers. Getting mass distribution was not easy. I want to make this perfectly clear. This is not about beating down on people. This is not about personal attacks. I would quickly disavow personal attacks. This is really about business. This is about the look. I almost feel like a bastard child. You know what I mean? When you've been waiting 2 years for something, but instead that time and effort is spent on something else that you know they really care more about. But even if that's the case, just give us our Red Rooster first and then go do this. I've got no problem with you guys selling your Red Rooster in Walmart. Just give it to us first. And I understand, comics are dying. Comics are not doing that well. I am not going to say the Walmart deal is bad at all. Just how the Red Rooster book was handled. That's really what irks me.
Publishing venture, create 3 other books from scratch.
Oh, and by the way, this is a pretty good point. If it's taken you 23 months to draw a 68-page comic, how are you going to draw a 22-page comic every 2 months? This is something else I also have to bring up, because while the Critias situation with Detective Dead was definitely disappointing, this one was incredibly disappointing. You're talking about an artist and colorist team that literally live with each other, that are capable of banging this shit out, no pun intended. He says right here it's pretty reasonable to do 22 pages every 2 months, but 2 years he can't even draw almost 70 pages. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous if it takes you that long.
Scratch, hire talent, run a national marketing campaign, design everything from scratch, and yada, yada, yada. You all know the drill. How am I going to draw a 22-page comic every 2 months? The answer is probably will not.
And this is pretty reasonable here. War Campaign, I love the art style. So it's nothing really personal. At the end of the day, a lot of these people that are offering their criticism, they're a fan of Mitch Breitweiser's artwork. They're also a fan of Elizabeth's coloring. She has some really nice work. It's easy for people like them to get emotional when they're not around ComicsGate enough. They're not around these people that love ribbing each other. And they don't understand that the fans are frustrated about many things. Red Rooster is just the topic of the day.
I have a company to run, and I will draw as much of it as possible. And
that's not a good excuse either. I don't care if you have a company to run. You're not getting any sympathy points for me. The sympathy ran out when you were just like everybody else, every other conservative, essentially excised from the comic book industry. I had sympathy enough for you then. I don't have sympathy for you when you're saying, well, I got a company to run. To me, that's not a good excuse. This is a priority. This is 2 fucking years late. Deliver it.
Other artists who've done this before me, I will probably hire talent that hopefully is even better than myself.
Yeah, this is Panboy. He's a troll. He likes to troll. It's all good fun. Is it true Kelsey is held naked and shackled serving fruit plates at your adult party?
I hope so.
That part is true.
It's easy to get emotional over this shit, but they do this to everybody.
To do that, and I'll be managing multiple books. So, but I could do this every 2 months. 22 pages every 2 months is reasonable.
That's when he said it's reasonable.
But that's why it took. You guys have no idea. Well, some of you do. Some of you do.
This is the thing. He's going to start to get a bit upset. We have no idea what's going on. Last time I checked, this is really your only job, is creating comics. Do it full time. You'll hear me talk a lot of shit about Doug TenNapel, but what I'll never do is mock the actual planning that he puts into his projects. The guy literally has a calendar set up so that every day he knows what he's supposed to do. For some reason, you have people in ComicsGate that don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're scrambling to figure out what they're supposed to do. And now you have a book. It's been 2 years and we still don't have it. So in terms of us actually getting what we paid for, we haven't gotten it.
What it's taken to do this has been, I haven't had a fucking day off in a long fucking time. And I'm really fucking tired. And we're doing the best we fucking can. So.
Now, this is another point I'd like to bring up, because it's one thing to say that the book is late and you shifted your priorities, but there's really no evidence to suggest that they used the money from Red Rooster to fund this Allegiance Comics deal with Walmart. EVS has gone out of his way to try and reassure us of this. However, EVS shouldn't be there. He shouldn't have to reassure us. It's not his comic. This should be coming from Mitch. This should be coming from Mitch when he comes onto Ethan's channel, or really any bigger ComicsGate channel, and talking to the people that helped fund his fucking book. But you're going to have people like this that are going to speculate, and when they have to wait extra long, they're just going to keep asking questions. And while you can't come out and accuse them of doing that, like with Critias when he spent the backer money on non-book related things, people are going to speculate, and they have every right to speculate. They have every right to feel frustrated that they're not made a priority. So at the end of the day, I really don't have a problem with the deal itself. I want to make that perfectly clear. Again, I'm glad there's going to be comic books out there. This Red Rooster campaign, though, was not made a priority. That's
it right there.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. First of all, don't curse at your fans, and don't your customers, and don't tell them, hey, I had other things to do. You don't understand how tired I am and how much stuff I have on my plate. They don't care. They just want the book they paid for. That's something you learn pretty quick. That's the thing, and that's what this is about. Kelsey's in the chat saying, yeah, but this is done. Like, how do you fix this now? How does he fix it going forward? He's got to get the book finished.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, he's got to get the book finished. He's got to ship it out, and he's got to ship it out with an apology, a very humble apology. And then he'll retain some of his supporters, especially if the book's good. But that's how to do it. And there's no other way around that. There's no sticker that he can send. There's no postcard. There's nothing, no words that he can say. Well, the book isn't finished. It's just not gonna happen. And the Walmart, it's a shame because you've got Kelsey Blake, you've got Kevin Graveau, you've got all these people who have books in Walmart right now. It's a big achievement for them, but it's tainted by this very personal feeling failure on Mitch's part, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So he's got to finish that book, Kelsey, and I don't care. I've got a business to run. Yeah, you do. This is your business. You're going to find out pretty quickly that Walmart isn't your business. People trusting you, people who support you and give you your money, they are perpetually your business. And if you're not straight with them, and if you're not right with them, if you don't make it right with them, as I did, thanks to Vicky and Thomas Royaloop, they gave me that wonderful opportunity. Then you're gonna have trouble looking them in the eye again and asking them to support you, whether it's at Walmart or on the internet. What do you think, Adam Unfriended? What's your feeling?
I think you're right on the money. A humble apology would go a long way, and I think that's like he's adding fuel to the fire by not showing any humility. Like you said, nobody cares that you haven't slept. Nobody cares that you're working your ass off. Like all of us are working our asses off. That's what we do. That's what it takes to survive in this day and age. These people, you made a deal with them and you reneged on that deal, and it just, it rubs people the wrong way. I like to think that you have an opportunity to make it up to them, but you can't run from your audience. You can't become afraid of your audience. These are the people who believed in you and supported you. Like, you have to open that dialogue with them and not make a bunch of excuses. Like, nobody wants to hear your excuses.
Yeah, I mean, if there are actual legitimate reasons, then you be upfront with people and tell them the legitimate reasons, even if it's embarrassing, whatever it might be. And I've dealt with investors before in one of my comic book companies, and they will boss you around. They'll put you on salary and tell you what you can and can't do. So I have no idea if that's what the relationship is with the investor, or if he's a total sweetheart, or what the heck's going on there. But he has to find a way to just be straight with people. And like, the way to have a reputation for great customer service is as simple as just giving great customer service. And that's like Ethan was saying, all of Ethan's books shipped, but he wasn't 100% satisfied with how the fulfillment went. So now he's literally taking it into his own house and his own family to make it happen. So
yeah, customer service is everything, guys. It really is. Thankfully, you guys have given us another chance. We're trying to make it right.
Let's talk about what really matters here, Ethan. Why are you telling people I wear hair gel? What's going on here? Sheila Allen in the chat here is saying I'm faux soy now. What the hell?
I didn't say anything like that. I mean, I personally, I wear a little bit of paste in my hair, a little bit of hair paste from Aveda products. But I never
nice.
said anything about you. I assume you wear all manner of product in your hair. That's
I'm
not
just
exactly the dry look.
I'm joking around with you. I'm joking around, obviously.
We're waiting for Eric Weathers to launch Battle Brick Road. It's only 1 minute away, and I don't have the link for it. So that's the thing.
Battlebrickroad.com, and I'll post the link in the chat. Actually, I'll do the Indiegogo one.
Well, battlebrickroad.com takes me to the
takes to the pre-launch, and I'll have to change it on my domain server to go back to
the pre-launch location is your main, does become your campaign location. It converts automatically, and you actually need to email that list on your mail service, whatever names you've collected. You have to export.
I'm going to do that once I get everybody signed up. That way, it's fair.
Fair is good.
View of Uranus says, I understand this is important to the health and future of comics next generation, but dot your I's and cross your T's first. Customers come first. 200 Watt Studio says, Mitch is no better than Edwin and Critias. F him. No, he's way better than those guys.
Yeah.
Way better than those guys. Comic Books in Cahoots says, a personal apology from Mitch would go a long way. 200 Watt Studio says, Mitch sent PDFs with watermarks to the backers. Elliot is doing just fine at Atomic Comics, says Old Blue. The Inexorable Word Nerd says, his actions are why God gave Doug face cancer.
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
That wasn't me that said that. Kyung said 2 campaigns fulfilled. Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb 2 launching Monday. Hell yes, Kyung. Angry Banaline says, you just accused me of liking Dirtworm. Oh, hell no. Let's see. Nolan Nerd says, Frega, pressing question. How's the PP hole doing? A lot of people interested in that.
Waiting for it to pass. I have a question regarding Allegiance Arts and having comics in Walmart, and thinking about what Adam Post was saying with the returnability. My whole stance on returnability is if the comic is good, it won't get returned. But I think they're dealing with a whole nother problem, which is how do people know to find their comic in Walmart? If it's just considered an impulse buy, you're almost guaranteeing returnability.
Yeah. That's people are hoping. I think they're hoping that it is an impulse buy. That's what I do. I go into the bookstore and I don't know what I'm going to buy usually, and I just go, I want to read something about digging up Abraham Lincoln's corpse, and I look for books on that subject, and I find the best 8 or 9. And that's kind of how it goes. I think people are considering. I think they're just considering that you're going to see them and go, I want to have one of those books.
Well, for what reason though? That's my main concern for them is I walk by, I see a comic. Oh, cool, comics are in Walmart. But if it's something I've never heard of before, why would I want to grab it?
You might not, but you might.
That's
risky. That's where the risk is. Oh, have you launched?
I'm launched it. Yeah, we're good. We're going.
Yeah.
Right.
Battle Brick Road.
I'm refreshing, and it is launched. It is launched, everyone.
Who's number 1? Is it Joe Frago? I know he goes for number 1 all the time.
It was Rot 10 Glory. Rot 10 something.
Rot Glory is dope. I like that, dude.
Here we go. Battle Brick Road is live. $260, 8 backers already, 31 days left with a $1,000 stretch goal or fixed goal. This is it, guys. We were waiting for this one to go live. You don't want to miss out, of course. Eric Weathers does have a history of fulfilling backers, fulfilling his campaign. So don't worry about it. You are going to get this book. And I've seen him working on this for a while now, months.
Yeah. It's been a while. Been through a long road getting this story where it needed to be, and getting the characters designed up where they need to be, and getting pages turned in and all that. For those of you who don't know, Battle Brick Road is basically Wizard of Oz with guns. We took the bones of Wizard of Oz and strapped on some new meat, strapped on a lot of ammo, and a whole lot of heart in this multi-layered story. And it's written by Zeb Hatfield, drawn and lettered by me, of course. And we're going to get Farrah Normaliza to color it. We got a lot of great stuff going on here.
Scarecrow looks badass.
Thank you.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Backer number 14, baby.
My man. Thank you. Thank you,
That's how we do.
Let's refresh and see where we're at. We should fulfill this, or I mean, get to the goal pretty quickly. 4:30, guys, right now. If moderators could keep that link in the chat, support Eric Weathers, Battlebrick Road. Let's get him funded right away. Lickety split.
Do you want to hit the 30-second video again? Now that it's launched?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do that.
Thea Gale has grown up in a world brought to its knees by drought and monstrous dust storms.
Full screen?
A message from her long-lost father will set her on a path through an exotic land. Along with her trusting sidekick Toto, she must befriend a ragtag group of outcasts to endure the many challenges along the way. Battlebrick Road Operation Zephyr is a 52-page graphic novel in the first volume in a 4-part series. From artificial intelligence to genetic manipulation, Battlebrick Road brings an original and multi-layered story to the familiar backdrop of Oz. Back it today and help bring to life this apocalyptically fresh take on the classic American fairy tale. Only on Indiegogo.
The book looks great. It looks great. Hell to the yeah. This is awesome, awesome, awesome.
They're funded.
They're saying it's funded already. I don't believe it. Oh, it is. It's funded already.
That was a minute. Funded in a minute.
ComicsGate.
It took an hour last time, so thank you.
Keep it coming, guys. You do want a copy of this. Everyone loves the story of Wizard of Oz. There was a gun in Wizard of Oz. We point that out quite a few times. So just for a second, Scarecrow was holding a gun. But this campaign is all guns. It's all war. War in Oz. Do not miss it. Let's go through this, Eric, shall we?
We shall, yes.
Let's talk about the featured tier here for $50.
Yeah, $50. You're going to get the main book. We have a supplemental book, which is going to include the ash can that I did a couple of years ago. It's a little 5-page story plus a bunch of extras. There's going to be a backup, a lot of concept sketches, because the journey to this story of making this book, it started at a time when I was working on trying to make video game concept art as like a portfolio piece, and I thought this would make a good comic. There's a lot of stuff in that vein for some of the concept art. And so all that's going to be in the backup as well. And, if people start sending in great fan art, that'll be in there as well. So we're going to make that one as big as we can. And then you're also going to get a fold-out poster of the cover that I drew and Farah colored. And that's sort of the basics. As we start to go and unlock stretch goals, which haven't been announced yet, but they're coming, every backer will get the stretch goals. So we're going to do trading cards and bookmark. I'm looking into a patch again that was really popular with Flying Fortress. So yeah, so $50 tier, you get both books and the poster.
Okay, so you get both books. $25 is just the book and the poster, it looks like.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. That's a great deal for $25. For $85, you get 2 copies, 2 posters, and 2 supplemental books.
Yeah. I also want to say that Zeb and I live in the same town, so both of us are going to be signing the books. You're going to have both signatures on all the books. So
$100, you get everything, and you get the book and a sketch.
Yes.
On a separate piece of paper. Is that the way it works?
That's the plan. I had some people ask because I did it in the book on Flying Fortress. I had some people ask to do a separate one on a sketch card. So I'm going to go forward that way. That way they can frame it up if they'd like.
Battlebrick Road plus supplemental plus sketch. That's nice for $125. You'll get the supplemental book too. Superfan. What is Superfan?
So Superfan, I'm taking a cue from the mighty John Malin. This is everything. You're going to get Battlebrick Road. You're going to get the poster, the supplemental book, the character sketch, an exclusive T-shirt, the red logo. It's only available for people that back at these higher tiers. You're also going to get your name as the special thanks in the book, in the special thanks section. And we're going to color up the ash can, and I might even add a couple pages to it. The original ash can, we're going to get that colored up and have that as a little mini comic only for this higher end tier as well.
$500 Citizen. You get to be in the book.
Yep. $500 is the same as the $250, but then you get to be in the book as most likely one of the Munchkins in our version of Munchkin.
Oh, cool.
They're not the tiny Munchkins. They're a little bit different. So, but yeah.
Can you buy it on behalf of someone else? Because I want Smiller to be the Munchkin.
Oh, that's awesome.
The legality of that. But,
all the quats dropping.
I don't see why that's not something that we can't do. Honestly, just seems like.
The answer is yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
and there will
good.
be original art that I'm posting. I'm trying to find the right ones for now. I'm going to do it like art does. As the pages come in, I'll post them one at a time, one or two at a time. That way people can know what they're getting.
Congratulations on a gorgeous project, Eric, and success immediately like this. It's fantastic. It's a power of ComicsGate. Everybody knows Eric Weathers.
Yep. I've been around for a while.
Well, he's got great artwork too. I think that helps. I think that
it's over 3K.
Cool yeah, cool.
I wish I
concept.
could put up stick figures and just say ComicsGate, and then everyone would buy.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I am backer number 67. And if you look, I did back the midget tier. Mike S. Midget. You will put him in the book.
Okay.
All right. So that's the. I think he should be a munchkin. I think
4240.
And
man,
our blessings to you, Eric. You know, we appreciate all the work that you did on Cyberfrog, and we want this book to succeed. You are. Is that wrong to do that? I got to go to Adam.
Good.
Adam is my conscience. Adam, unfriended. Is it wrong to
Do
make
Mike S. Miller?
Yeah.
Hell no. That's hilarious. That's like a practical joke. Come on. It's called parody.
All right, very good. So that's what I want. And by the way, when I ordered my T-shirt, it says 2XL, not 5XL. 2.
Yeah, you pick your size of T-shirt as you're checking out. Those will be fulfilled by Crypto Fashion. So.
Okay, good. It's
like
2XL. Maybe there are some other people who are interested in putting other midgets in the book, other munchkins.
Can you have more than one munchkin? Like, could you have another Mike Miller munch? Could he like have a whole represent the Lolly Club Cub?
10 Mike S. Miller munchkins. Now, if we could just get comic skaters to come together and join me, some of the bigger players out there that got $500, we need 10 Mike S. Millers.
The Kumquat Guild.
The Kumquat Guild. They represent. Maybe that could be 750, like 5 of them. The Kumquat Guild.
Why not? Yeah. So 1 out of 10 is back. Let's get the other 9 done, guys, and let's get this book where it belongs. But $4,240. Wow, $4,555 in 11 minutes.
Wow. Nice.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for backing. My original campaign for Flying Fortress made 4,000 an hour and 67 in the first 24 hours.
Wow. Good for you, man.
So many thanks.
I just appreciate you guys. This is great. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, launching is exciting. Launching is really exciting.
Eric's voice is cracking. You're getting emotional.
Here comes 5,000. 5,000's right around the corner here. You're at 49.65. 81 backers. Any second now, we're flipping over to 5,000. And I guess the next backer is going to do that. Mikey Wood says Eric deserves it. He does deserve it. He lettered every single book.
Mikey,
that's a great image. A great image that you picked there. The cover image.
Thank you. Yeah, and just to reiterate, James Dean Anderson, the good JDA of ComicsGate, did that logo for me.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is a great logo.
A little piece in the middle plays into the story too, and I don't even think
that's a gold brick.
Oh,
it's a yellow brick, but it also there's a significance to it. So you'll see.
Buy the book and find out. When is this book shipping?
The plan right now is going to be early next year. I had fulfilled Flying Fortress over Christmas, and I'm not going to do that again. I missed out on the second chance Salamandroid because I was busy packing boxes and folding posters, and that was such a short one. I missed out. I was like, man.
When did that Wizard of Oz movie come out? Because I thought Captain Marvel was like the first female protagonist in Hollywood history. I'm starting to realize, doesn't that have a female protagonist in it? That old movie?
I think so. Yeah, 1936, I believe, was the movie.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What movie?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
39. How do you not know 39. That?
I said 39, then I second guessed myself and said 36.
1939 is a magical year in Hollywood. It's Gone with the Wind. It's Wizard of Oz. All of these great movies came out in 1939. They considered it the pinnacle of classic Hollywood.
What year was Snow White? Wasn't that 38 or 39?
That was 34 because Hitler. That was Hitler's favorite movie, and I talk about that a lot. You know, I talk about Hitler's favorite movie being Snow White. He watched that in his little movie theater all the time by himself, over and over again. Yeah,
big shot.
It was 37. It was 37.
37. Okay, you're right. $5,530 with 90 backers. We're heading towards 5 figures, ma'am. Now, 5 figures is just 5 figures, ma'am. You know,
that's right.
There's some politeness.
Be a gentleman.
Yeah, young lady is courteous, but it's a little bit flirty.
There's a bit of a bow when you say young lady. Just a tap, maybe a tip of the fedora.
FP Sunny says EBS knows a lot about Hitler. I wrote a song called
I know.
I wrote a song called I Know Littler about Hitler than John Byrne one time. That was one of my because John Byrne knew a lot. He knew way more about Hitler than me. Battle Brick Road. This is the reason for the season, everyone. Eric Weathers, beloved letterer of ComicsGate, has just launched his new campaign. And it is extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary.
It's another successful ComicsGate launch.
Absolutely,
these launch parties are the best.
Oh yeah,
we're showing my writer Zeb how it's done here. He's been sort of watching from behind the scenes, and he'll be on stream with me sometime today when we go back to the channel. I'm going to be on with Clint as well. So we're promotion all day long. All day long, we're going to be
awesome.
Well, and the thing is, by the way, it helps. To do what you did, you let all your fans know, via one of these signups, pre-launch pages, the mail-in list, John mail-in list.
He took that. He didn't even know what it was a couple of months ago. Then he just took ownership of it. He owns it now. He's amazing.
He is something else, isn't he?
He's a force of nature. Force of nature.
Alan Sparks points out that Hitler was also a friend of Dorothy. Oh, that's true. That's true. A friend of Dorothy, which means homosexual, Adam.
Really?
What that means. Yeah. It means homosexual.
I'm not down on the homo lingo, so thanks for letting me in.
It's so disingenuous. Yes, you are.
What are you talking about? No, I don't know these things.
You're slick. You know things. You live in California.
Come on. They accuse me of homophobia on our show all the time.
Wow.
None of you guys know that. Yeah, everyone knows me as like the big homophobe. Obviously, I've got nothing against gay people. I don't.
Not yet.
Well, I just, I don't like.
Let's see how things go. Maybe better.
You'll be watching a movie and there'll be some kind of homoerotic stuff that comes on. I don't like that stuff. Like
John Malin made me watch. He made all of us watch the Jack Show or something like that. Made us watch Brokeback Mountain.
Oh my God! See, I could.
The worst.
That would be torture for me. I would never watch Brokeback Mountain. I've never seen the movie. I turn off the TV when the trailer was on.
He did a video with Mike Miller where he and Mike Miller did the voices or something like that. It was. I don't have it.
It was hysterical. I want to watch that. That's right.
Yeah. I'll show you guys something.
No. I had this whole thing. I was there for that. I said, okay, we're gonna have acting lessons. And I pulled bits of movie scripts from IMDb and made everyone act. This was when Mike was still kind of cool.
Nice.
And we did Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. And then
I wish I could quit you.
Yeah,
that audio was placed over the movie clip. It was great. You see Mike Miller's voice over, like getting pounded in the ass. Dude.
Oh my God. You're evil.
Yeah, John found the video. It is hysterical.
But shit.
And there are other scenes in there too. There's
John Malin and Mike S. Miller in a homoerotic love.
Oh my God.
God, that was funny. We used to have so much fun, man. It was great. Let's see. Twitter Trash says, so what? I want in on that if you ever do it again. I forgot about it. That was like an idea that we did 2 days in a row and then we threw it away.
It's a great idea. Great format.
It was funny. Yeah. We'll do that kind of stuff again. Well, in any case, I am starving. I haven't eaten anything since I woke up. I'm hungry. If you're hungry for Battle Brick Road, it is now live 5750. We are going to get to 5 figures, ma'am, pretty quickly at this rate. 18 minutes in, and we're already at 5750, guys. Thank you so much for all your support. All right, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Where is the party moving to, Eric? What is the plan?
I think we're going to go to Clinch channel here in a bit. He said he'd take off the morning for me. We're going to go over there.
Awesome.
What's the address for that?
Sweetcast. Sorry. Sweetcast.
Excellent.
Yeah, go over to Sweetcast, everyone, and let's continue to let people know. Retweet the link. Let your friends know Battlebrick Road. Let's make sure Eric has a great launch, a good first 24 hours. Hey, what can I tell you guys? I love you all. Thanks for being here. 3 hours and 30 minutes. That's a long live stream for a morning show.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you again tonight. I'm going to try to get Zach on for a one-on-one.
Bye, everybody.
Hail everyone.
Hail chat.